Phenomenal.
Man.
You love Drake?
No, I actually don't. Somebody pick somebody I love. Ain't that right, Cookie?
We just went live on Facebook, so if y'all want to share.
All right, we live.
Somebody sound like they running.
It's a lot of air, some feedback.
Uh,
I got that fan.
it's my first time on one of these. I've never been on one of these ever.
On what?
On a Zoom meeting with multiple people. I've never been on one of these ever in my life.
What you been doing all year during the pandemic?
Making
That's all
music.
you've been doing. People been zoomed out. It's Zoom birthdays.
I've been going out. I go to places.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been staying home.
Oh, see, this is why we can't get free as a people. This is why we on punishment still, because people like you who's still going out.
But I ride bike and I go do things and I go to stores and you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you covering up, huh?
Oh, every time. Not only do I cover up, but I have multiple bottles of hand sanitizer from the hospital and I keep them with me at all times. I wash carts. I wash everything.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, vitamin D is good. Vitamin D is good for you.
And I take a lot of vitamin D because I have psoriasis, so I have to take vitamin D. And I smoke a lot of weed.
I'm not mad at that. Oh, you know, I'm saying, like, not loud enough to where it's messing with me. Oh, shit.
All right, we're live. If you guys are sharing it, now's the time to share it. You can go to the Facebook page and then share it to your personal page. Give you an opportunity for your followers and friends to watch you and support you in your argument, help defend you if they need to. All right, we'll give it about 3 more minutes and then I'll start with the.
Okay.
Y'all know why.
Hey, do I have a minute to run and get my phone and come right back?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Where's Q at?
All right, I'll be right back.
Y'all gotta turn your phone down. If y'all share live, turn your phone down so the feedback don't interfere.
Where's Q?
I don't know. I've been looking. He was on and then he was gone. And I don't see him in there now at all. 2, 6, 7, and 11.
Hey, can you bring me my gallon of water?
All
right. So tonight's debate. My mic and my camera. Oh man, Q was having technical problems. This is going to be interesting.
Somebody sounds like they're outside.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody, when we get started, we actually all to mute yourself because somebody's background noise is disturbing.
Bring one gallon.
King Scott.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so I'm going to just kind of talk a little bit because we are live. We'll probably watch it. Jump off.
All right.
Wayne's back. So what we're going to do is this game has roughly 4 different parts. There's the intro, which we're about to go through. We'll talk about the topic for the night. We'll talk about the rules, and then we'll go and play the game. And then there's another part of the game after the beat of the game is done. The judges will leave us for a while and they'll deliberate because they'll be making notes and attributing points to people who have great debates and defend their position very well. Then they'll come back with the feedback to let everybody know what's going on. But I do want to go over the rules for everybody so we're all on the same page. I'm going to start by sharing a couple of screens here to kind of just go over some of the basic stuff. All right, so we want to thank you all for joining us, the Hip Hop Top 5. The game flow will be very easy. If you can see this here, this is kind of I believe I got everybody's name on here. Maybe not spelled all correctly, but These are the people: Rika, Saint, Marlon, Quail, Cal, Love, Ashley, Candace, and Ed are the team, and we'll go through our position shortly. Al, you got a lot of background noise. Al, can you mute yourself while we do this?
Yeah, you know what, man? Let me. Hold on. I don't know if it's me.
All right. Well, when we start off, I'm going to ask each of you guys and ladies to tell us your criteria. They're going to ask you, your 5 picks, and then after each round, you'll be answering questions from the challenger. There'll be a 2-minute limit. When that 2-minute limit hits, I will sound a sound or applause to kind of stop you right where you are. Hopefully, you will do the best you can in that 2 minutes and not go beyond that. There is a bonus question that will be put out there for somebody who maybe didn't get challenged. And in that bonus question, I think there's a opportunity to steal. I'll let Rika and Saint talk about that. And then also in the Facebook, people who are watching live on Facebook, they can comment. And some of the comments we will interject into the game on the screen. All right. So, like I said, when the judges leave, they'll be leaving to deliberate, fact check, tally the score. They'll return to talk about who they thought did the best. Also, if you're watching live on Facebook, this is where you go to check out what we're doing. We're live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. I really hope that you will subscribe to our Facebook channel, our YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button so that anytime we upload stuff, you'll get notified and you'll be in the mix with us. All right. And so what we did is we asked all of you guys to compile a list of your top 5 artists that would make up the Mount Rushmore. We asked you to choose from different geographical regions, one from the Midwest, one from the East, one from the South, one from the West Coast, East Coast, South, Midwest, and one international artist. I know that if I mute everyone, then I can't unmute you. So if I mute, so I'm asking everyone to mute yourselves for now, and then unmute yourself when it's time to talk. Kill some of that background noise. All right, so everyone, please mute yourself. All right. And so we gave everybody about a week to prepare their lists and do their research and be ready to challenge. And again, we know that the Mount Rushmore is only 4 people, but this is hip hop. So we expanded it to 5. And those are the geographical regions we included to make sure that we had a interesting debate here and we covered the gamut. All right. So everybody submitted their lists about a week ago, and I gave that to the challengers. They got a chance to look at your list and they have questions based on the list you submitted. And that's kind of what we're going to do in the game today is talk about those things. Let's see. Before I get into this, any questions so far? All right. I'm going to turn it over to Saint so Saint can talk a little bit about either the scoring or the judging. And Rika's going to pull her back in and she will do the same. One will talk about scoring. One will talk about the rules in which we use to go here. So I'm going to take myself out and bring Rika in.
What's up, everyone? All right, so I hope y'all have been keeping up with some of the games we've played in the past. If you haven't, the rules go as such. DT will introduce each of you guys. You guys will have the opportunity to, first of all, give your Mount Rushmore. After you give your Mount Rushmore, you will have 2 minutes to defend your Mount Rushmore selection from each coast. And as we go through each coast and then international, after the defense of each coast, you will then be opened up to challenges from our challengers and possibly judges. And if you are successful, you will accumulate points. And myself and Rika will be accumulating points as we go throughout this game. And whoever does the best job at defending their Mount Rushmore, comes out as the victor. So again, you guys will be on a clock. You have 2 minutes. Anything over that, you will be cut by DT. And so get as much points as you can in between that period. And yeah, I'll turn it over to Rika.
Cool beans. Thanks, Saint. So, evening, y'all. I'm really excited about this one. I think tonight is going to be a dope debate. In terms of points, so you win points based on facts, interesting tidbits, and how well you are defending your list. You lose points by giving false information. Some of you have some repeats on your list. You'll all that will unearth as we go throughout. And so less points are awarded based on repeating facts. So the whole purpose of this game is for it to be a learning opportunity for those who are fans and lovers of hip hop. So, you all who are debating and those who are watching wherever they may be watching from. And so hit us with what you know. That's how you'll amass points. And let's get it going. I look forward to it.
And before I go, I just wanted to also remind you guys, when you guys are prompted to give your top 5 or your Mount Rushmore, just be very clear to name them individually before you go into any defense, right? So if your Mount Rushmore is Nas, Jay-Z, whoever, just name them first before we go into explaining why you pick those individuals.
All right, so let's get into this. Just want to reiterate the couple of points there. I'll kind of lead you guys through it. I'll start off by asking you about your top 5. You'll tell us, like Saint said, all 5, and then you'll tell us why. Then we're going to go into each one individually, and I'll lead you guys down there. So don't try to do too much too quickly. I'll stop you and in order to keep the pace of the game. All right, so I'm gonna remove you, Saint, and bring Ashley in because she is the challenger. And then Enrica and Saint are in the lobby. They can watch and hear, but we can't talk. I can't hear them. There are people chatting on Facebook, and some of those comments will come in. I'll just give you guys an example of what it looks like if I put up something. If someone has a comment on Facebook Live, we can throw it into the game as such. And that'll be the way we get a chance to understand what people who are watching might have something to say. We can kind of get them into the game as well. All right. So with that said, anybody got any questions? It's time to get started. No questions so far? All right. All right, we're gonna start by. I'm gonna go down the line and let me see, make sure I got everybody up here. I'm gonna put the team on top here, and the players on the bottom row. And I see 4 players. Are we still missing someone? Did someone drop out? Did someone lose? Oh no, Mike Scott's up there. Okay, we cool. All right, so let me just put. Okay, so I want to start with. I'm gonna start with you, Michael Scott. I want you to tell me your criteria. I want to know what criteria did you use to choose the people to fit on your Mount Rushmore? Unmute yourself and then let me know what you
are. So yeah, we're going through all 5, or you just want
just all 5 in any random order. Just
order. All right, cool. Yeah. So for me, a lot of these decisions have to do solely with these people impacted my life. And also hip hop and commercial. I used a few different merits to pick each one. So with that being said, Nas for the East Coast. With that being said, Nas we get into that. Tupac for the West. A lot will argue. I don't know. We will see. Master P for the South. The criteria for all these people, like I said, go down the line, how it impacted my life, how it impacted hip hop, what they brought to the game for our culture as well as Black people. All these things are part of it. Master P, like I said, for the South, Kanye West for the Midwest, and of course, Aubrey Graham, the one, Drake. As an international artist for me. So
Graham, huh? That how they say it in Toronto, Graham.
But yeah, that the criteria we'll get into it during the debate too as well. Different reasons, and we can politic about that.
All right, let me go to Chandra. Cookie, tell us what criteria you use to come up with your top 5 for your hip hop Mount Rushmore.
I base mine on longevity, the trajectory, foundation, what they actually brought to the game and how they've expanded it. And my random international star is Pop Can, who is a reggae dance hall artist, and I chose him primarily because reggae tends to hit the United States in waves, and the only person who's ever really shown any true like stick to itiveness is, of course, the one and only Bob Marley. So he was just more or less just to bring some exposure to him because he is a part of the OVO now. He's on Drake's record label. So I expect that at any point in time, he's going to explode. So my top five is Cube for the West. For the South, I chose Tip. For the Midwest, I chose Common. And for the East, I chose Jay-Z.
All right. Good work. Good work. Let me go to Vinny. Vinny, tell us, who did you choose and how did you come up with your choices for your hip hop Mount Rushmore?
All right. I mean, I chose based on, like you said, actually longevity and perseverance in the game, their body of work, discography, the overall impact as an individual entertainer overall. That's kind of how I went about choosing these individuals, and these are the names that popped up to me, whether I know much about them or not. They popped up to me when I thought about their demographics, these specific demographics. These are what popped up to me, and these guys came to mind. So with that being said, I got Snoop Dogg from the West, Jay-Z East, T.I. from the South, Eminem Midwest, and Mr. Aubrey Graham, the great Drake from the international market.
Great ham, my man. All right. Let's go to Wayne. Wayne, why don't you tell me your criteria and how did you come up with your choices?
Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Cool. What I did, I came up with place of birth where each of my MCs were actually born, as opposed to what coast or what geographical area that they had an impact on. There were a few things that I had to debate with, and I had to eliminate people I really didn't want to. And I went down a rabbit hole that I didn't know I was going to go down. But with that being said, in the West, I chose Ice Cube. East, I have Rakim Allah, and that was kind of easy for me. South, I went a little different and chose Andre 3000. In the Midwest, I had Common. And international, I looked at Drake after the fact, but knowing that Slick Rick was born in the United Kingdom, I went with Slick Rick.
Oh, interesting. All right. Ooh. All right. That sounds good. All right. And let's see. Is that one more? We got one more. We got to go to my man Al. Al, let's find out what your criteria was, who you chose, and why you chose them.
My criteria is like pretty much musically how they come forward, the influence. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's just basically just shines to where like people try to be like them, and you know that certain rewindness where you got to rewind stuff all the time and stuff, and just be like, man. And there's actually a lot of asterisks because like for instance, I'm a big Eminem fan. I don't even have him on my list because when I look by definition, East Coast was Eminem. I didn't consider him Midwest because they go by the Eastern time. You know what I'm saying? So there was like a lot of lines that I couldn't be able to like. I didn't understand like if Eminem, because I'd put Eminem, I put Kanye as my Midwest, and I would actually change. You know, even though I think musically Kanye is a genius, man. I think Eminem would be my preferable Midwest. And then my East Coast is, you know, Jay-Z, of course. I mean, you don't have to even explain that. I'm pretty sure there ain't gonna be a big, huge argument on Jay-Z. I can't imagine who they'd put up unless it's just like some backpacker who loves KRS-One and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What's up?
KRS-One's number one. Nah, man. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I base it off of stuff that they say that's just incredibly like, God damn, did you just hear what he said, man? You know, and like an artist where Nas said to Jay-Z, Eminem killed you on your own shit. It's the reason Nas never put Eminem on none of his shit, because They didn't want to do that. The same reason why Jay-Z didn't put a lot of people on his, or certain people didn't do certain things, because they avoid that. So for the list, I tell East, Jay-Z, West, Pac, Midwest, Eminem. So I'm gonna change Kanye. You know what I'm saying? South, I don't know why, man. I'm such a huge Andre 3000 fan. I love Outkast. Musically, I connect. I spit a lot like Outkast, but I picked Lil Wayne for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I love words. I'm very witty, and like I under.
All right. He froze on us. Hopefully he'll kick back in. So we got Q. I see Q's back with us too. I've seen him. Did you see it? Yeah, Mark.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, you in there?
Yeah. I was trying to connect with my laptop, but it's tripping.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Glad you're here. All right. So I'm going to move on, and we're going to go into that's all 5. For now, we have everybody's criteria and their top 5 lists. Hopefully, Al can get it together. I don't know what he needs to do. If this internet's going to have to kick back in on its own, if he needs to reboot or whatever, we'll just continue to move forward without him until that. So let's get ready to go into the individual numbers. We're going to go down. I'm going to ask everybody about your pick in a certain category, and then at the end of this, I'm going to go down the line, ask each player who was your number, who was your West Coast pick, and at the end of that, we're going to open it up to some challenges. All right, so let's get started. All right, so tell us, Wayne, we'll go with you first. Who did you pick for your number for your West Coast again?
I had Ice Cube.
All right. And Cookie, who did you have for your number 5? I mean, your West Coast. Yep, your mic.
I had Q.
Okay. All right. And Michael Scott, you yourself tell us who you had for your West Coast.
I had Tupac.
All right. And let's see, I think Al's back. Al, you back with us, right? All right, Al, you back. All right.
Sir.
Remind us, who was your West Coast pick?
Pac.
All right. And Vinny, let me get to your screen real quick. Who was your West Coast pick?
Snoop.
You picked Snoop for your West Coast. All right. So let me open it up to the challengers, and I'll start with Marlon. Marlon, where do you want to go with it? You're muted.
I'm a challenge Vinny. You said Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me ask you a question about Snoop. Number one, I don't see how you cannot have Pac. That's number one. Number two, besides Snoop's first album, Doggy Style, The Dog Father. Name me 2 songs off that album that was impactful.
Off of which one?
The Dog Father.
The Dog Father. Well, you got let's see. I'm trying to think. I got all these songs crossed up in my head, man. But I know the Doggy Dog World.
No. The Dog Father.
Not that many, man.
But he's on your Mount Rushmore.
Well, it may not be totally from that album. It's his overall body of work. I mean, think about Gin and Juice.
First album, yeah. His first album was a classic.
Well, why can't we include why we forgetting the first album? It's relevant.
Mount Rushmore means your body of work is classic. This is who you choosing to lead the West, right?
Right. I mean, you
and
look.
He only had one classic album.
Facts. That's true. But now, you could go Pac, right?
No. You said Snoop, don't you?
But Pac, unfortunately,
No. Leave Pac out of this. Leave Pac out of it. Leave Pac out of this, bro.
But
listen, bro. You stick to Snoop Dogg. First of all,
hold on.
Don't do this,
Mike. Wait your turn. You can't.
Yeah, all right. Let me speak on Snoop. All right. Snoop don't have a great body of work overall, but his move that he made with No Limit, how he linked with Master P, the things that he went through. He's a songwriter, he's a film writer. He's in plenty of film, and there are some classic songs that he have out there that he's made. He does a lot for his community. He has a great youth football league to bring his kids up. And when you think of Snoop, when you think of West Coast, you can't not think of Snoop. Snoop's been around. You hear him. You hear about Snoop in the West Coast. He started it off for the most part out there. I mean, aside from Cube and Pac, Snoop was still on the scene along with Pac. So Snoop was right there. Snoop kind of started that off. I don't know how you can see that ain't the case.
All right. I started the clock late, but that does the 2 minutes right there. We're going to go to another challenger. We're going to go to Candace. Candace, who you got a challenge for? And you got to unmute yourself, Candace, I believe.
Hey, I'm going to challenge Al. This is going to be a controversial challenge, but I'm with it. Al, you got Tupac as your West Coast artist. Tupac had 5 albums. Only 2 were made on the West Coast. Why is he a West Coast artist and not an East Coast artist?
Well, because he was a he was an East Coast artist when he started, but the movement at the end, he became a West Coast movement. He was part of that movement, even though Snoop and Dre, even though Snoop and Dre already had it popping off or whatever, man. It's basically the influence. I mean, he could be anything. Like, if you really think about it, listen to the whole Master P movement. Every single 80% of the Master P artists sound like Tupac. They always do the to be him and Van for a gangster.
But he was doing that when he was on the East Coast. So
right,
what
but
about
it was
his
different.
rhyme style, pattern, and cadence is
Because
West
when he was
Coast.
on the East Coast, he wasn't representing the East Coast in a form of there wasn't a East Coast versus West Coast thing when he started as an East Coaster. So when, you know what I'm saying, it actually started as a coast and West Coast came into that game, you know what I'm saying, he was representing for that coast because he grew up also in Oakland. So it wasn't like he just grew up on the East, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot of ties in everywhere in the world, and he felt more comfortable in the West at the time where it became a clash between West and East. And you know what I'm saying, that's really the time where it became West and East. It wasn't really divided, you know what I'm saying. Hip hop wasn't divided for that era. You know what I'm saying, everything was just hip hop. But then they divided it, so therefore, you know what I'm saying, that's how it,
So
that's
he's a
why he's a
West
West Coast,
Coast.
because he represented and he died for the West Coast. You know what I'm saying, he died.
All right,
He's a West Coast artist because that was his game. Okay.
All right, that's the 2 minutes. We're going to move on. All right, let me go to
He bats both ways. He can go both ways, lefty, righty.
all right, thank you. We're going to go to another challenger, and now we're going to where's Ashley? Ashley has dropped out.
Yo, Ashley.
All right, we'll go to Mark Rich. Mark Rich, you got a challenge for someone?
What up? Yeah, I got a challenge for Michael. Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going
I
on,
like
bro?
that West Coast pick, man.
No doubt, respect.
Yeah. Tupac was definitely one of my favorite artists of all time. I wanted to ask you though, name 3 artists that he beefed with on that he named beef with on the Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati album.
Machiavelli, Mobb Deep, Against All Odds, Puffy, Mobb Deep, Puffy, and Nas.
All right, I thought you was gonna say Jay too.
Well, we leave Jay was part of it, so was Fugees, but they were kind of like roadkill kind of thing at the time because Pac was too big. Pac was like already doing movies and stuff like that. So like they weren't Jay didn't become Jay until Hard Knock Life. Most people slept on Jay's second album, which was a classic, more than the first 3. Out of the first 3 albums Jay released, apart from Reasonable Doubt being its own place, I thought like In My Lifetime Volume 2 was a solid follow-up, but people slept on that. So yeah, Jay wasn't where we look at Jay as the growth came along. So I can't really look at Jay as any kind of impact. He was like a fly buzzing around in Pac's world, and Pac was like just patted him on the wall for a second.
Yeah, but he's mentioned at the beginning of the album, like You know what I'm
He
saying?
is because he's like Biggie's guy, right? So it's like Jay was part of the conspiracy. There was a New York conspiracy to do away with Pac, kind of thing. I felt like so. And I'm from the East. I just remembered WBLK when Pac got shot. I mean, as a black man, I thought at the time, I didn't think it was funny, but I remember Hooker and Don. I know this the Buff because I love Buff, but I'm just saying, I remember specifically them calling that guy One Pac because he got shot.
Yes, they did. They sure
remember
did.
that.
Yep, I got mad.
I'll never forget it. And it was like the joke of all jokes. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody else.
No, it wasn't funny. I remember.
It wasn't funny at all, right? So, like I said, Pac for sure had his qualms with the East, and all of the artists I named, I'm fans of all of them. It's just at a time I think Pac was definitely leading the way. I remember before I remember there's a song called "Running" that's on the internet with Pac and Biggie, and you'll have I think it was Dr. Dre or Ed Lover saying we're beefing over niggerdom, like the king of all niggas, right? And it was just between Biggie and Pac. So we can't talk about Jay and these guys, right? Because they're just still coming up, kind of thing.
All right, good shot. Let me go to Ashley. Ashley, you have a challenge? Someone?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Sorry, I was tapping in and out. I'm having difficulties here, so I hope I'm not getting ready to ask something that was already said because I missed a lot. But God, we're on number
West
Coast, right?
West Coast. We're still on the West Coast. You're the last challenge for the West Coast.
Okay, because his was Tupac. Go ahead and skip me so I can catch up, please.
Can I jump in and ask Chandra her?
Go right ahead. Now, Chandra, you got a challenge.
Chandra, you got Cube, right? So with Cube, how come of all the, why not Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre was more impactful. When you think of West Coast, you think of Dre, you think of the music, you think of NWA, Death Row, Aftermath. How you pick Cube over Dre?
Because straight out of Compton, Cube's pen orchestrated just about all of Eazy-E's rhymes and most of Dre's rhymes. There would be no gangster music if it wasn't for O'Shea Jackson.
You said gangster. It wouldn't be no gangster what?
No gangster West Coast music if it wasn't for O'Shea Jackson. He orchestrated straight out of Compton. It was his pen to paper. He wrote all of Eazy's rhymes. He wrote most of Dre's rhymes. It's one thing. This is not about who is my Mount Rushmore of producers, because if that was the case, it would have been Dre all day. This is my Mount Rushmore of rap artists. So that's why it is Ice Cube.
You didn't fuck with Ice-T?
I mean, I can tell you this, Ice-T, his relevance is phenomenal because of his ability to shape change. But again, we're talking about longevity, we're talking about relevance, and we're talking about what you brought to the table, what you brought to the culture. Ice-T brought Darlene and that badass body to the culture with that album cover. He shape changed. He was Ice-T. He was Body Count. He was Law and Order. He was in the movie with Wesley Snipes. But Ice-T, it's the platform. It's who he put on. It's what he's done with the music, what he's done for the culture. So that's my West Coast.
All right. So that wrap it up for the first round of all the West Coast artists? No more challenges? Ashley, you got one? You want to go wait for the next round?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank you all for your first round. It's the West Coast. Any surprises in there, Marlon? Anybody on the team? Anybody surprised by any of these West Coast picks?
Not really. I mean, Snoop was a little surprising just because, it was only one album that was really, effective.
Good.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have put that in. You know what I'm saying? There was definitely at least three West Coast artist that I would have put above Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop brought party to the gangster. He made gangster music party. That's what he brought. He set it off. He did bring party to gangster music. Y'all know it.
Okay.
All right. So listen, we're gonna take a quick one, and we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna get into our East Coast artists. Everybody will ask you about your East Coast pick for the Mount Rushmore and see where it goes. All right, so let me start with Al. Al, I want to start with you. Who did you have for your East Coast pick?
Jay-Z, Jigga.
All right, and let me go to Benny. Who did you have for your East Coast pick? You did.
Jay-Z.
Okay. All right, Wayne. Who did you have for your East Coast pick?
I had a Rakim.
All right, Sandra. Who did you have for your East Coast pick?
Jay.
All right, and Mike. Who did you have for your East Coast pick?
Nasir Jones.
All right, I'm gonna go to Marlon for the first challenge and see where it goes. Marlon, who you got?
I'm a challenge. Gonna sound crazy, but I'm a challenge Rakim. I'm a challenge Rakim based off of lyrics. You can't argue that. But what else did Rakim bring to the hip hop game other than lyrics to put him on Mount Rushmore?
Oh, okay. That's for me, correct? All right. Let's see. The style count as lyrics, or is that something else? And the reason go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, the reason I mentioned style is because before Rakim came out, everybody was kind of loud on the mic, or they were aggressive. He set things up as if he was having a conversation with the listener. That changed everybody. He also brought consciousness to the game. And the third thing that he did with that first album, Paid in Full, if you look at the single, Eric B. as President, then moved to, say, Move the Crowd, and later Paid in Full, that album and the songs on there were charted and being played from the middle of 1986 into the fall of 1988. That's a 2-year time period, and they actually had to pull that album with Rakim's voice on it to get the next album out. That's why I put him on my Mount Rushmore. I could have chose LL. He was impactful. I could have chose KRS-One. I could have chose Jay-Z. I even could have chose Black Thought. But it was Rakim that, in my opinion, that set things up and changed the game, changed the cadence, changed what people were trying to do. That's why he's on my Mount Rushmore.
All right, nice job. Who else got a challenge? Candace, you got something?
Yeah, I got something. I want to go ahead and challenge Vince on your Jay-Z pick. So you picked Jay-Z, and I think it was Al that said that was a non-negotiable, which I got an issue with, but I challenged Al last round. So Jay-Z has multiple platinum selling records, almost all of them, right? Almost all of them chart. But when it comes to impact, which was on your criteria, Jay-Z is modeled after a mixture of Big, Kane, Rakim, and Big. So why didn't you pick one of them over a Jay-Z?
Why would I pick them over Jay-Z?
Why didn't you pick one of them over Jay-Z?
I mean, I looked at, Jay-Z overall, he's got, 23 Grammys. He's got a lot of Grammys there for his discography. He's the owner of a basketball team. He is putting a lot of back into even artists coming up. Some even obviously in Western New York, where I'm from as well. But he's impacted a lot of different artists like Mills. He's got a lot of artists on his roster and with Rock Nation and getting into sports management. He's had so many things about him that's good for even the hip hop culture and for us as Black people in the business. And he's challenging the overseers and holders so much of these big record labels in the past, which have been predominantly, whites at the end of the day, these white billionaires. And now he's a billionaire himself, challenging the game. And he just really has done well for us as a collective whole. But, I love his Reasonable Doubt, album. That was great. I came up around that. I know he had a lot of different albums that were great, but I don't know a ton of his music. Just when I was younger, it was Reasonable Doubt, and everybody kind of knew that. But that's why I chose Jay-Z, just for what he's done so far.
All right. Q, you got a challenge?
Yeah, I got a challenge for Al.
Okay.
Al, you chose Jay-Z. So, not talking about careers, but specifically the battle between Jay-Z and Nas. Who did you have winning and why?
All right. On a personal level, I have Jay-Z for a reason being that, you see, like I said, I like, I'm an old young head, man. I like punchlines. I like old people, like even back in the day. That's why I love Eminem, and I don't like corny punchlines, overdone. You know what I'm saying? Where people like, simple, like, I'm on the off the top like a hat, like, you know what I'm saying? Some old simplistic, like nowadays. That's why I applaud like some of these kids, man, because they say some of the dopest shit that nobody ever came up with. And you know what I'm saying? If you sit there and listen, like I never knew Tory Lanez was a spitter, but then you listen to some of his shit, you're like, damn, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some of his real dope, like, man, if you could do this, and that's the same reason why, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z has always been the flow of traffic. You know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of time, when he was a kid doing battles, he stick a battle fucking DMX, bro, when he was like 19, 18, and they're in the scene of hip hop. They didn't just, he blew up. Like, he's just somebody who's, even when he started from Civil Lights, I remember like this with them in the left, and just the fluidness, you know what I'm saying? The fluidness of Jay-Z, and then to go through and say, like, you can't really name one garbage Jay-Z verse. You can't. Tell me one garbage Jay-Z verse, man. Even on the Hard Knock Life stuff, the club stuff, he said from standing on the corners popping, like he say real shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's somebody who's been influenced, you know what I'm saying, so dope that one of the most beautiful women love him. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine if Beyonce love him, he's got to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what would you say to Ether though?
To Ether, I think a lot of Nas's stuff was corny and just like, you know what I'm saying, like, JJ lives.
Come on, bro.
And everybody knows, everybody likes to attack him because he takes a lot of Biggie lines, but he's just paying homage. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping somebody who's dead alive, in a sense of everybody knows that's his lyrics. Jay-Z knows everybody knows that's his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does that. You open up with a certain line, and it's just the way you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a musician. I love witty stuff, and I get everything. There's probably a lot of things that y'all don't get. I guarantee you there's a lot of punchlines that y'all don't get. I bet you in the Tupac song, you didn't know Tupac said De La Soul. Who knew Tupac said De La Soul? Artists looking flabby and sick. Look at De La Soul. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things I hear that nobody hears. You know what I'm saying? I listen to music because I'm a musician. When y'all finally hear my shit, y'all gonna be like, oh, that's the dude. So I guarantee you, y'all better record this because I'm gonna be that guy, dog. So as far as the opinion, you know what I'm saying, I can spit some of my, but they're not corny and they straight punchlines, and I keep up with the times. I'm not an old 80s dude.
Al, have you listened to Ether lately? Or no, better yet, how did Ether hit?
I don't dislike it. I don't dislike
it.
You didn't ask me if I liked Ether. You
No,
which one side I like better. I listened to Ether. I liked a lot of it.
Let me go back then. Let me ask you this then. All right. Back then, when you heard Ether, when it first came out, what was the impact then?
Well, the impact was, it was different because it was at that time I just went to New York for the first time, dog. It was in August, late August, and we had a bootleg Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And man, this album is so dope, man, because I heard it like before it came out. You know what I'm saying? So I heard most of the Blueprint. And then when the Nas thing came out, like, I like Nas. I think Nas developed the prettiness of rap between Nas and AZ, visualizing the you know what I'm saying? Their prettiness is what stopped that robotic. Yo, I am the man and I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It stopped that, man. It made that prettiness along with like special ed and certain artists. I love fluidness. I love fluidness. You know what I'm saying? It's not about corny punchlines that some people say, man. I like, I don't hate these other artists. I'm just saying, as far as an algebraic form, that's what I go by. An algebra, an equation of why I have a certainty towards something. And it's not just because of this, it's this because equals that times this equals n. And that's how I get my equation. It's not just because like, oh, Jay-Z's the best. You know what I'm saying? There's a math to it.
I get it. All right. Candace, a comment from Candace there. All right. So great job, Al. Al, giving it to y'all. All right. So listen, we have another challenger for this round. So we got in Q, we got in Marlon. You did yours, and Candace did hers. So we can move on to the next one. Or am I missing something? Am I missing somebody?
We ain't challenged Nas. We ain't challenged Chandra.
Okay, so I'm asking if you guys, I need to know who to go to.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to let everybody else get in.
All right, so no one's jumping in. So go ahead, Marlon, you jump in. Who you challenging next?
I want to challenge two people. I want to challenge Nas and I want to challenge Chandra. I'll start with Chandra first.
Bring it.
Chandra, what's your favorite East Coast album? Answer the question. What's your favorite East Coast album?
You know it's Ready to Die.
What's your second favorite East Coast album?
Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Who's on your Rushmore?
And then Illmatic.
Who your favorite East Coast rapper? You said
Jay-Z. He's my Rushmore. He's my Rushmore.
Who's your favorite?
Biggie. You know that.
Okay. I'm just checking.
I'm not gonna lie.
I know you're not. That's why I asked you.
I'm here to defend my Rushmore.
Marlon, is there a challenge there?
The challenge is this: if Big was still alive, would Big be on your Mount Rushmore?
Yes, he would.
So just because he died, he can't be on your Mount Rushmore?
No, it's the body of work. He doesn't have enough body of work to remain relevant. That mixed remastered shit that Puffy keeps putting out to try to make $1 and feed his family is not Big. He's splicing his lyrics and putting them together. Big authentically had 2 albums and he was on a lot of people's shit. But authentically, he had 2 albums. Jay-Z, yes, Biggie had to pass away for Jay-Z to be Jay-Z, but he picked that gauntlet up and he ran with it. And not only that, he brought a lot of people up with him, which is why Nas is not here. Nas is a selfish ass Virgo. He does not extend the olive branch to other people. AZ, he done kept him down.
First of all, you're not gonna slander Virgo.
Yeah, the audacity, the nerve.
Virgo's in like that.
My brother is a Virgo. My brother is a Virgo, and I love him to death. And he's selfish. And sibling day yesterday, he stiffed me. He is a selfish Virgo, and Nas is the epitome of a narcissistic ass Virgo, which is why he is not on my Rushmore. Dave East is no competition for him. So that's why.
What you got to say about that?
Huh?
What did Michael Scott say?
Man, I was waiting for somebody to challenge me. I got a few issues here. I got a few issues with all of this, everything that's going on right now. First of all, Chandra,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is Marlon's challenge. This is Marlon's challenge.
All right, answer his challenge. Then we go to Mike. See what Mike got to say.
This is Marlon's challenge.
He answered it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now.
Actually, I wasn't coming for you. First, Al, I gotta say, with all due respect, Ether slaughtered Jay. It was undoubtedly a loss. Undoubtedly, unquestionably. I don't know where you were at the time or even now, but respectfully do, bro. Ether demolished Jay. Like, Jay talked about sleeping with another man's wife. Do you respect that? Like, the time now he's talking about Carmen on Super, what was it called? Super Ugly. He had a really trash comeback at Ether. It was really garbage. Super Ugly or something like that. And to be honest, Jay lost, bro. Lyrically, that whole just lost, period. So we're not going to put Jay and Nas in the same conversation when it comes to lyrical capability. Jay's an amazing rapper. I think Jay is even more amazing businessman, and I think even more Jay knows how to capitalize off opportunities better than most rappers that was from that time. So we're not going to talk about lyrical capability. Nas is the man when it comes to that. Chandra, all due respect once again, when we talk about Nas Oludara, Jones, we're talking about a man that's cultured. His father, most of the guys you're comparing him to can't even play an instrument. Nas can play the trumpet amongst a few other instruments. Amongst writing poetry, amongst dropping an album at 17 years old that most still to this day as a 17-year-old, mentally a lot of artists can't put together a body of work like that.
Wait, please let me just get one more thing for him.
All right.
So you just said, how can you respect any man that in a song claims that he slept with somebody's wife or girl, right? You just said that.
I did. I didn't respect Jay talking about Nas's baby mom, Carmen. I thought at the time.
So, but going backwards, your West Coast pick was Pac, right?
Oh my gosh, jeez, don't do this, bro.
No.
He did.
Going by
let me be clear here.
No. Going by what you just said.
All right.
Your words.
Okay, so
how can you respect anybody that said they slept with somebody's wife?
Let me say this. When Pac released Hit 'Em Up, and at that time, it was a draw on the line thing, man. It was like either you were East Coast or West Coast, right? And let me be clear, I was of a fragmented mind where I felt like, you know what, when Nas and Jay-Z were beefing, I kind of grew up. It was like a 5-year span when that beef came along. And I became more of a man. I understood things differently than I did when Hit 'Em Up was released, So once again, so Pac was in his bag. He went off. There is still no speculation that him and Faith, just speculation. There's still no actual real proof that this happened, But we have clean it up.
You started working quick to clean it up when it came to Pac, boy.
Okay. but there's still no proof that this happened. It's just allegedly that Faith and Pac got together. It's allegedly, right? But we know for a fact that Jay was boasting sending Carmen bottles in the club. We know what Jay was doing to get under Nas's skin at the time, and he still does it to this day. If Nas is dropping a record, Jay does something strategically on that day just to remind Nas, like, look, bro, I position myself. No matter how much the streets love you, no matter how much we love Nas culturally, because truthfully, all y'all know in your soul that Nas is a better rapper than Jay-Z. It's not about
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right. Who has the better discography?
Man. Okay, so we're gonna take Nostradamus out of this.
You can. That's a part of the discography is Nostradamus. That has to be included.
All right, then I'll match that up with American Gangster and a few others. The one of the 3 lines. Jay had like every young record on there with Chris Martin trying to be Kanye. Let's say let's be honest. After Blueprint 2 or 3, I think Jay kind of fell off.
You feel like Jay fell off? When?
Yeah, I felt like at the Black Album.
The Black Album?
No, I'm being honest. I feel like the Black Album, we didn't have Jay no more. I mean, let's be clear. Illmatic was off. Illmatic.
No.
29 Problems.
Now you coming for my Rushmore. The Black Album. Are you serious?
Yeah,
my first song. Encore.
Close the curtains.
I'm not even talking about the commercial stuff. I'm not even talking about the commercial stuff. I'm talking about
the curtains. Look, man, we talking. Look,
one of the morning.
Black. Yeah.
Listen to me. I understand how people revere Jay-Z under this thing, man. But I'm gonna be honest, yo. Beyonce saved this man's life.
No, you got to re-listen to the Black Album. You have to re-listen to the Black Album.
You gotta go
You
back.
have to re-listen to 444.
Listen to me, man.
Got to re-listen to
Listen to me,
444
man.
Ready to
for
cut
sure.
him off yet?
Twist something.
Look,
You need to
Kill
twist
himself.
something and listen to that Black Album. You
Look,
need to
I want
twist
to give you
something
the
and
first.
listen to that Black Album.
look,
All right.
look, how much Grammys Jay got that he earned on his own?
We got to move on.
He got 23.
On his own, on his own. I'm not talking about with Beyonce.
He got 23. Let's credit to Jay.
Yes, we got to L Biz is in the building. What's going on?
Busy. What up, Busy?
Biz.
And I have to say something, moderator.
So hold on. Before you say that, let me just check now. So this is going to be it's going to wrap up our East Coast, right? Any challenges besides this? Ashley, you got anything for East Coast challenge? You good? Ashley, Earth calling Ashley. You good? Ashley. All right. Do you have anything before we wrap up? I'll let Chandra.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Ashley, you
Go ahead.
Ashley, you do or don't have a challenge for this?
I did have a challenge.
Okay, hold on. Let me let Chandra finish her statement. I'm gonna go to your challenge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Sandra.
Okay, as far as Jay-Z is concerned versus Nas, they're in two different lyrical lanes. Jay-Z, does he write his own rhymes? Does he write his own rhymes? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, so does Nas.
Jay-Z does not write his rhymes. Jay-Z spits from the dome. Jay-Z goes into the booth and he goes, you give him a line and he spits off of that line. He does not write his own rhymes. He spits from the dome.
Hence
So
the
that's
reason why the
another
Black
line.
Album. Hence the reason why the Black Album was not good.
That's
I
why
mean,
you
at that
need
point,
to
his
twist
mind was
something.
already
You
in
need
corporate
to twist
America.
something,
His
and you
mind
need
was
to
worrying about who's
that Black Album.
American Gangster was garbage. Whoever posted that, American
You
Gangster was
lost your
trash,
mind.
man. Stop
So
it.
You tripping, bro.
Stop this Jay worship. This
Bro,
Jay
you tripping, bro.
Hey, hey, when Nas freestyles, he comes up with Uchiwala. When Nas freestyles, he comes up with Uchiwala.
Uchiwali was a classic, though. You still play it. Ask every DJ when they're ready to do a break. What are they doing? They're playing Uchiwali.
No,
They better not. They better not. They will lose that
We're talking
party.
about lyrically. Whenever Nas freestyles,
They
he's
losing that party.
terrible. And he can't ride fast beats. He can't ride fast beats.
Let's move on. All right, I'm gonna go to Ashley. Ashley, you go to the last challenge for the East Coast artists. Ashley, who do you want to challenge?
So my challenge is for Wayne. It was so Rakim.
Yes.
Other than his lyrical ability,
Oh yeah, they are.
what did he? Oh, we did ask that. I'm sorry. I told y'all my thing was breaking up.
Yeah, she got in late, so she so that one.
Dang.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we got him.
Okay, all right. So with that being said, we can move on to the next one. That was a very spirited debate.
He said spirited.
TV shit right there. That's a very spirited debate. But there, I'm just going to go back. Did I get anybody? Let's see. I'm going to say, I think he was sending that out to Mike. Mike, the man's is bugging. And we already looked at that one right there. But here's one big spit from the dome talking about Jay-Z. So here's one we didn't.
Yo, what up, Busy? What up, Busy? It's been a while, bro. What's going on?
Interesting question right there. All right.
How many Nas albums did Jay get paid from? That's funny.
All right. So we did the West. So we did the East. Now we're going to go down South. All right, Vinny, why don't you kick it off? Sorry. I'm going to go with Candace. Let you kick it off with the first. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm right. So, Vinny, tell us who is your South artist?
I chose T.I.
All right, you chose T.I. Wayne, who was your South artist?
I had Andre 3000.
Andre 3000, 3 stacks. Okay, Cookie, who was your Southern artist? Tip, T.I. All right, Mike Scott, who was your Southern artist?
I got Percy Miller, Master P.
Ooh-wee. I guess I go right to Marlon. Marlon, you want to dig in first or what? What's
you got to go to the next person.
Oh, I got one more. Right? Who did I didn't get to? Oh, I didn't get to.
Okay.
Al down the bottom of my screen. Okay, Al, who was your Southern artist?
See, I'm kind of like, do you have my list there, man? Because I think I picked Lil Wayne, but I'm such an Andre fan, man. I was torn between it and Scarface, but I think I put Lil Wayne just because of
You
a
put
certain
Lil Wayne.
influence.
Lil Wayne.
All right, then, yeah, Lil Wayne.
Okay. All right. So, Marlon, you want to jump into the challenge here?
I'm gonna let Q get the Master P pick. So I'm a challenge. I can challenge any one of y'all for not picking Scarface. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna pick my man. What's not Vinny? What's the dude name right here with the driver with the blunt in his mouth?
That's Al.
Al. Why didn't you pick Scarface? Scarface, probably the pioneer of Southern rap. Why was he left off Mount Rushmore? Why him over Lil Wayne?
The reason why is because there's so many other down south artists. Even though let me tell you something. I'm a huge Ghetto Boys fan, man. I'm telling you, when like Resurrection is one of my favorite albums in the world, just because it was like a revamp of what they are. You know what I'm saying? And I have uncut Bushwick Bill verses that nobody's ever heard in their life. But anyways, the reason I picked Lil Wayne is the influence, man, the influence and the things that he says. And I don't know what he's on, but if there's somebody who could truly say shit and freestyle, it's Lil Wayne. And he's the one who's everything that's pretty right now. And like when y'all said something about I forgot what Jay-Z is a mix of of Big Daddy Kane and you know what I'm saying, all that mixture. I feel like Drake was a mixture of Kanye and Lil Wayne. As soon as I heard Drake, I was like, oh, that's Kanye and Lil Wayne. They made it. But it doesn't make him terrible just because he's a mixture of something. You know what I'm saying? It just makes him a development of an art. You know what I'm saying? We can't stand still to where we're reminiscing about the hip hop and the b-boy shit, man. We have to develop because now we have kids and shit that are getting into this, and we got to get into this era. We can't be left behind, or you know what I'm saying? You're just too old for hip hop. And I don't want to be, I'm 44, bro, and I don't want to be too old for hip hop because I'm still in the game. I got some little young artists that's dope, and I could spit with them. I could write for them. You know what I'm saying? And I just like the way he developed, just like, you know, with Nas. Like I said, Nas, he sculptured a lot of different people spit in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Not so robotic. And in that era, you know what I'm saying, when I feel like Lil Wayne, like at first I was a Lil Wayne hater, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, he's such a loved person versus like, let's say Jay-Z, which influenced Lil Wayne the most, you know what I'm saying? And when you have a person like Jay-Z, you know, is like a LeBron James. He's so great and people hate on him. Like, yeah, he sucks. I've never heard somebody talk about somebody so great sucking so bad. Jay-Z and LeBron, the exact same two people of two different sports. And I don't understand how somebody could just sit there and have a hate for somebody like that. And then with Lil Wayne is such a loved person. And like I said, until he started doing them little mixtapes and shit, the Cannon, dog. And then I started really listening to him because I was one of them people that didn't want to listen to him. But then I heard like the mixtapes and I was like, man, he's saying shit nobody's ever said in their life, bro. And things that people wish they would have came up. Punchlines that just talk about the real world and bring things forward.
Great answer. All right, I'm going to Mark Rich.
Yeah, I got a challenge for Master P. So you pick Master, huh?
Who picked Master P? You got to tell me the name so I know who to go to.
It's okay. I'm right here, DT.
Yeah,
right
Michael.
I'm right here. The name so I know where I'm going. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So Mike.
Yes, sir.
You don't mind me calling you Mike, right?
All good, fam. Let's do it.
All right. So now if you was introducing a young 16, 17-year-old to Southern hip hop, give me the Master P album that you would present to them and give me 5 tracks that you would play first.
Okay. First, what I would do is I would give them Ghetto Dope. That's what I would do. The first record off Ghetto Dope would instantly, the Ghetto D record, that's the first one I'd play. I Miss My Homies, I'd play. There's a few others, you know what I'm saying? But I think those two
They're not nameable though.
But it's not nameable. There's a lot of records that you could ask. You could ask one of these young kids right now who Jay-Z is at, or Jay for lack of a better term, or ask one of these young guys who, so to speak, maybe a rapper that's not as known, like a Q-Tip, maybe, a Tribe Called Quest. You could ask them of certain legendary acts right now, and they wouldn't know who they are, and you'd have to go back and introduce them to a couple records. So Master P, if you want to know why I picked Master P, I think that's a better question, because everybody would pick so many others like UGK, like Scarface, who are some of my favorites. There's a lot of great legendary acts that came before Master P. But what Master P represents to me, to the South, is the gatekeeper, the guy that went to Oakland, that understood independent record selling, took it back to the South, you know what I'm saying, and started opening doors so Cash Money could exist, and other real labels that kind of opened up the gateway for the South to just dominate and just dominate and dominate. So I get it, Busy. Yeah, you got to be able to rap good, but he was the guy that found the rappers that rap good. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. He's the gatekeeper. He's the guy.
Which rappers?
Master P is everybody's daddy.
What rappers did he find?
What rapper is that?
What rappers did he find?
They should say, "Yo, Dad, what's up?" when they see Master P.
I thought so. You know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
You know, you're fucked up now. So you said he put on some rappers?
I'm saying Master P not only put on, he inspired. Just by him trailblazing and just opening. The South is like Jamaica to me. The South is like Jamaica. You know what the South is? A million artists that just create hit records, and each one of these hit records impact the culture. You'll never remember some of these guys, but they have impactful records. And collectively, you needed like Rap-A-Lot Records. You needed No Limit.
That's what I was about to say. How do you see Jay Prince if you see P as the one that
I see Jay Prince as their goddaddy?
How impactful is someone who we don't remember?
Who's that? Who you don't remember Master P?
You just said that these people have had an impact, but we won't ever remember them.
You have to be more in more context.
That's what I'm repeating. What you said. You just said.
Give me the leading argument. Bring in the leading argument. You're attacking like who we not remembering.
That's what you just said out your mouth about Master P. You said he was one of the people that had an impact. He had impactful records, but we won't remember him. So you're
misconstruing something, Shorty.
How impactful is someone who's not remembered?
At the end of the day, Master P will be someone that should be remembered. Period. Like I said, he's their daddy.
Like Mount Rushmore remembered, or like
they should put him up
some
there.
good business.
There's many acts we could pick, right? But we can look at the impact that Master P has had. I think Master P should be on the Mount Rushmore. Yes. I'm sticking with it. I'm holding it. I'm riding. That's it.
I'm still missing the impact part.
You don't see the impact Master P brought to the game.
Yeah, you're not reeling that home for me.
Really? So independent record selling. Who apart from Jay Prince and Rap-A-Lot, who else brought that home?
You can't just gonna throw Jay Prince away, huh?
I just said that. Apart from Jay Prince, who else brought that home? It wasn't just Jay Prince alone. Like Master P continued the legacy.
He led it.
But he's the goddaddy, so we're not taking Jay Prince out of it. We just said we're talking solely about Master P. We're not gonna take Master P out of it. You're saying what impact? You don't think Master P had an impact?
I do think he had an impact.
I'm asking you to convey his impact
for 2 years.
No, but it's clear. I understand his impact. I respect it. I'm just saying to you.
You say he brought us some rappers, but you never named the rappers.
It was someone who took 80% from labels, right? Someone who played in the NBA. Someone who's you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, he played for the Raptors. Master P was on the Raptors.
Master
P was on the Raptors
for the preseason.
Doesn't matter. He played in the NBA.
No disrespect to Master P. I love Master P, but my problem with your pick is that you skipped over like legends, bro. Like you skipped over real Southern legends to pick Master P, who really was was looking to everybody else. Like if you say he brought in rappers, you say okay, Mystical is one of my favorite,
100%.
But if you look at the impact that Mystical has had on the culture, it's not really a good one. If you look at C Murder, if you look at Silk the Shocker, bro.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. You tell me a good rapper that he brought to the game that we can talk about today that made that type of impact.
Who are we comparing them to, though? I mean, we looking at a lot of rappers.
No. We're not comparing them. We're not comparing them to anybody. You picked him as your Mount Rushmore top Southern artist.
Jay-Z slapped a woman.
We ain't talking about Jay-Z.
I ain't talking about Jay-Z. I'm talking about Master P as your Mount Rushmore.
Jay-Z slapped a woman in her face. Like, what are you talking about?
Mystical literally went to jail for rape.
Mystical
raped the woman.
I'm not talking about Mystical. I'm just saying, Master P, if we're talking about all these artists,
I'm asking you to name me a rapper. Name me a rapper Master P has.
Defend your list. Stay off my list and defend your list.
Listen to me. Little Romeo is a good kid, man.
You're not gonna do Little Romeo in this. No. This ends now, DT. This ends now. He said Little Romeo. You are not taking this to Lil Romeo in hip hop top 5.
Man, we keeping it clean, right? So every one of these guys, if we're gonna look at rappers, man, a lot of rappers don't have the best history. We know this, so we're not gonna just look at it and act like, oh, this person's better than that person in that regard.
But your whole point for picking Nas over Jay-Z, never mind. Let's go to the next one.
I just want one rapper that he can name that Master P revolutionized the game with.
Look,
I would have respected him if he would have said Snoop. I would have respected him.
No.
Any artist I say about Master P, I'm not gonna rock with. But
I would have respected you if you would have said he gave him a platform to continue. He gave him a home. But you couldn't even come with that.
But I could come with Snoop. But we're not talking about he saved Snoop's life. He literally.
All right, that's that time to go to the next segment. I love it. With my powder on.
I need snacks for this shit.
Michael Scott,
hey, you don't pass that popcorn, bro.
Mike got it popping up in there.
Don't worry, Chandra. I want to know why you picked Popcorn over Vibes Cartel, but we'll talk about that later. Jamaica born Spanish Town. Let's go.
No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, bro. We're gonna get there.
There's something worse than Master P. There's something worse than Master P and who we put on. We're gonna get the Popcorn.
All right, so y'all made me hit the mute button. All right, so we gotta go to the next segment.
It's getting busy.
All right, I'm gonna unmute. They still going at us. All right. I tried to go back.
Oh shit!
Murder upon murder.
Yo!
Tell her to stop. We're moving on.
And Popcorn was right there doing it with him. Trust me.
Yo, Mike, y'all gotta chill.
Talk about vibes when he.
No, let's not. Let's talk about what we're going to do next. We're going to go through another segment.
Oh.
All right.
Mike, they not challenges. I am.
I know, huh? So they got me lost. So do we got a challenger still in this round?
Yes, I have a challenge.
You have a challenger. Ashley, do you have a challenge in this round? Okay, so let's go. I'm going to unmute. I'll unmute you two here. Okay, so let's go to Candace. Candace, who do you want to send a challenge to?
So I'm gonna regret doing this. I have a challenge for Chandra. Name me any T.I. song that charted after 2014.
After 2014.
Get out that phone.
No, I got one for you. Does it have to be him alone?
Okay. I'm not on the phone either. Thank you. I can't, Mama. I can't. Not him alone. I can't.
All right, nice try. Okay, let's move on to Ashley. Ashley, you got a challenge for somebody?
Yes, I have a challenge for Wayne.
All right.
So, Andre 3000, right? That's yourself.
Yes, that's
So,
correct.
from the perspective of your criteria, being impact on hip hop, accomplishments, and the time they debuted, what accomplishments did Andre 3000 have that will put him on your top 5 Rushmore list? Or specifically, what impact to hip hop was that great that he will make your top?
Okay. Going from the Grammy they won for Speaker Box and Love Below backwards. They had a lot of songs. What is it? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Southern Playalistic, Rosa Parks, things like that all had an impact. But the thing for me that made me really consider him and start to put all of this together is the time they were at the Source Awards. This was either 1994 or 95. And it was like nobody wanted to hear from the South. Reading a magazine and listening to him, they devised a plan to make their music better. And yeah, they were influenced by A Tribe Called Quest as well as Parliament Funkadelic. I get that. But when they finally found their sound, they opened up music as a whole, and they were like one of the first acts to really put hip hop out there from a Southern perspective. This is no disrespect to the Ghetto Boys, Scarface. I'm not taking anything away from them. They were early. But with what Outkast did, and how everybody decided they wanted to flock to Atlanta, they were so impactful that a lot of people really changed up and they started to go south instead of come east or west. That was why I put him up there. And then he's a vocalist as well. He sings and he's an MC. And I know he's unique and a little strange and eccentric, but he's unique, and he had, to me, a really strong impact on hip hop as a whole. That's why I chose him.
It seems like you're speaking more from the perspective of Outkast as a whole, though, as opposed to Andre 3000 as an individual artist. So
you're asking as an individual artist, correct?
Yeah, because you specifically have Andre 3000 as
I do.
the Southern person for your not big as opposed to Big Boy, but now you're speaking more from the Outkast accomplishments perspective. So I'm not really seeing his individual accomplishments.
Right. After I believe it was after Billboard magazine, I believe it was, named him as arguably the best MC to ever do it, which I don't agree with. And that double album where he had the album by himself, it was the Love Below that carried them to that Grammy. No disrespect to Big Boy, but it was Andre 3000, his lyrical content, what he was rapping about, those are the things.
He didn't rap on that album.
Yes, he did. He sang, but he rapped too.
So you feel like his speaker box outweighs all the Scarface albums?
No,
all of Wayne's albums, all of T.I.'s, all of Jeezy's.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't imply that either. What I was saying is that particular album where they got that Grammy, he's the one that carried it. It was a culmination of 7 or 8 years of hard work. That's what I'm saying. I understand about Lil Wayne, and I understand about Scarface. I give them credit where credit is due, but I'm going to say it again, with Outkast, and Big Boy is cool. He's good. But Andre 3000 to me has a uniqueness about him that had me put him up there on my Mount Rushmore representing the South.
And how many albums did he have?
You solo or as a group?
Solo. Because
Solo.
this is the thing. This is my problem with that. My problem with that is it feels like, and I know you saying no disrespect to Big Boy, but if you put an Andre on your Mount Rushmore for his accomplishments with Outkast, which Big Boy had a huge contribution to, Big Boy can rap. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like Big Boy can really rap.
Yes,
so it's like
he definitely
it feels like by you putting Andre on that Mount Rushmore, you're minimizing what Big Boy contributed to Outkast because Andre doesn't have any solo stuff.
All right. No, I'm not. If it looks that way, and had I have known it had to be a single artist, not just an MC, I probably would have chose somebody different.
You seen the two-headed Mount Rushmore? Like a two-headed person on Mount Rushmore?
No, there are no two-headed people on Mount Rushmore, not this one or the one with the presidents.
Gotcha.
What I'm saying is this. I was asked who I'd put on my Mount Rushmore as an MC. We could also, if we're looking at that way where I'm diminishing Big Boy, which I'm not doing, we could also say that if I brought a Tribe Called Quest into this discussion for the East, where I know all that Q-Tip contributed, I'm diminishing Fife, and that wouldn't be the case. But that's another story for another day and another debate.
But you would not put Q-Tip on your Mount Rushmore for the East, though, right?
No, that's why I mentioned Rakim.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you saying that Andre is your Mount Rushmore.
For the South, correct.
For the South. So in that argument with Q-Tip, if Q-Tip was your Mount Rushmore, you would say, okay, he has this body of work, this body of work, this body of work. With Andre, we don't have that to gauge from.
I understand what you're saying. No, we don't have it to gauge him from being a solo artist. I don't know if he's ever done any solo work. I don't think so. It was Outkast. But I'm basing this on his delivery and his uniqueness and how everybody seemed to flock to Atlanta once they blew up. That's what I'm really basing it on.
Gotcha.
So it's not a separation. It's just the MC that I chose to put on my Mount Rushmore representing the South.
All right, we're going to go to another challenger. All right, who's up next on the challenging?
I want to challenge Wayne.
Okay.
Not Wayne, I'm sorry. Vinny.
All right.
T.I., right?
Yep.
T.I. Is T.I. a better rapper than Scarface?
No.
Is T.I. a better rapper than Ludacris?
Ludacris definitely got some lyrics. He's better metaphorically sound than T.I., I'd say.
But T.I.'s on your
I'm looking at it from a overall perspective here. I mean, T.I. has like 3 Grammys. Okay. Now, he don't have a ton of, but he does have Grammys. He's got a net worth of about 50 million. I mean, he involved with NASCAR. He has plenty of different acting roles. He's not the greatest actor, but he does have a lot of different acting roles. He's been in some movies, and he started trap. And we all know T.I. started the trap, that whole trap sound and trap music sound that started with T.I. He's Atlanta, one of the meccas of music. He's their Atlanta's poster child. He started that. He's down there. That's why I give him that for me. That's what I see with T.I. And T.I. has a lot of work out.
He's not a better rapper than Scarface, you said,
right? I mean, not so much. I don't think so.
So the South, Mount Rushmore.
That's correct. So, and so if I'm looking at who's going to represent me in my Mount Rushmore, is who can bring the overall business. If I would assign this guy, if I want to sign these guys who has brought overall longevity and from what they have made, their net worth, the whole overall perspective, I'm going with T.I.
So you're going business wise.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So business, rapping, and overall impact, and you got T.I.
That's who I got. My rival pick for that was teetering on the whole Outcast thing, and I was similar to where Wayne was with that, and that's why I didn't go with. I couldn't see not picking Big Boy and going with Andre 3000. That was my rival pick, but I went with T.I.
No Scarface, okay.
Yeah, it seems to be disappointing about a facial expression from.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next challenger. Who's up next?
I got one for Chandra.
All right, hold on.
Okay, so you got T.I. too, but your criteria was based on Billboard, your personal liking and preferences, and also the artist's discography. So comparing T.I. South.
No, that wasn't it. It wasn't Billboard.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm challenging Vince then. Nope, not Chandra.
Oh,
Vince. Challenge you.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong person. So based off of your criteria, if we compare your East Coast versus the South, so you got Jay-Z, who had 14 number ones on the Billboard, and you had T.I., who only had 3 number one albums on the Billboard. So basing that off of your criteria for Billboard, what else would make him, outside of what you told Marlon, what else would make him be a top person? Because it doesn't really relate to Billboard numbers as far as number one album. So,
all right. I mean, he has 10 million albums sold. I mean, it's not like he is just a nobody. I mean, he has hit records. I mean, he does have some hit records there. So I don't, I wouldn't say just because he don't have or as many Grammys as Jay-Z, he definitely isn't Jay-Z. But I mean, for the South and where he is in the South and where he came from, and then with the start of trap and everything he does from reality shows, and his business game has always been there. His involvement with Chevy, NASCAR, those are a lot of things that make him an attractive artist. If I were to do business with him, and he raps, he has great concepts and good music. He has definitely good party music. Bring him out. I mean, he has stuff that's definitely likable by a lot of Southern artists. You love T.I.
But like,
so I got a follow-up question on Ashley's challenge.
Yeah.
Even though it's a group, Outkast, they sold 25 million records, and anything that Dre has put out has, as a feature, has gone up 1 million records. So why is it T.I. over Dre?
Over Dre 3000?
Yes.
Dre has what by himself? He has 1 Grammy, right? So T.I. has 3. So that's saying something different right there. He has triple Grammys. That was enough of an argument there. That's for me.
Hey, you base your choices off of the Grammys?
That's part of it. Grammys is huge. It's hard to win a Grammy.
It's hard to win a Grammy, but who's choosing? Who's picking?
I mean, the public is choosing. We don't run the numbers. The
public
fans
is not choosing who's winning the Grammy. That's not who wins the Grammy based on the fan choice.
The numbers that are done by the public, the number of plays, album sales factor into how Grammys are chosen.
So the reason why Jay didn't get a Grammy for how long, you know what I'm saying, based on the fact that he was dropping classic after classic. What did that? I mean, he was selling records too.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how the Grammys is your gauge when
it's part of the game.
Grammys have been definitely wrong on so many different occasions.
Yeah,
they picked Macklemore as the album of the year literally like 2 years ago.
Yeah, now we can both agree there, but it's not just the Grammys though. There's other factors in there. I would select the artist like him. Yes. That's where I'm at.
All right, sounds good. Answered your follow-up. And we got any other challenge in this?
Can I?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
I don't. It's not a challenge. It's just I just want to make a statement about Ti over Scarface.
Is this related to something that was just said?
This is related to what Rich was saying. Because I chose Ti for the South. So I feel like in order to justify why I chose him over Scarface, I just need to say that when you talk about Scarface is more or less like your godfather. He is Mount Rushmore. And then you have these like branches that came up after him that he kind of tutored. He kind of took under his wing. And I believe that though he wasn't directly involved with T.I., by him endorsing Ludacris, because they're along the same lines when it comes to cadence and flow and metaphors, he paved a pathway for T.I. to come up. So regardless of the fact that Brad is the godfather, I think just by him sitting on the top of Mount Rushmore and him reaching out and pulling people up, that allowed T.I. to be T.I. because he paved the way for Ludacris. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Mark Rich, you had a challenge?
Yeah, I had a challenge for Al.
All right.
My challenge for Al on Lil Wayne is basically, with Lil Wayne's hiatus, between the Carter 4 and the Carter 5. Basically, since then, what can you say outside of mixtapes that he's really given us as far as a full length project that we can still listen to today and we like, yo, this is one of Wayne's classics?
I mean, basically, most of his verses, and the stuff that created other people. Like, I don't know if you remember, but there was a certain time. Like, I've always been a down south. I love Ghetto Boys. I grew up with Ghetto Boys. I love Ghetto D. So when everybody talks about their like that rhythm and the way that somebody brought up for the South, Lil Wayne brought a different, like that everybody, what I'm saying, started trying to do a punchlines. Everybody's complaining about the South is that they don't say shit, and he brought the South to want to say shit. Besides Andre, because everybody thought Andre was weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Everybody wasn't an Andre. When ATLiens was out, he wasn't a big phenomenon like he is now, Andre 3000. Now he became famous. Now everybody knows his story. But when ATLiens was out, people were still talking shit. And you know what I'm saying? The East Coast didn't respect the South, and it was all that. And he brought that. And along with CeeLo too. We can't forget CeeLo, because CeeLo is one of the dopest artists in Dungeon Family too, as far as lyrically. And as far as an artist, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm basing my Mount Rushmore. It's a lyricist. It's not because somebody started rap. It's not because somebody put Biggie on, so that makes Puffy part of it, because then Puffy could be a big part of the Mount Rushmore, because he's the one who brought out Biggie, and he's the one who brought out all that in that era.
So with that being said, give me your most impactful Lil Wayne bar.
My most impactful Lil Wayne bar. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't tell you my most impactful Lil Wayne bar. I don't need to, because you know what? You know it, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, off the bat, I can't even think of something, but when you listen to it, you hear it.
But you said he said something. You know what I'm saying? He was the first one in the South saying something. So it's like, what did he say? What was he telling us?
I mean, just the way he brought certain deliveries, and even though they accomplished that to Jay-Z, and being that you know what I'm saying, they said that he went along that, like I said, I'm not a hater of the development of artists, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, there's a lot of punchlines There's a lot of I can't even think of nothing, bro. Like right
I
now,
love
I'm
this is the
literally
thing. I
in the
love
middle of
Lil
a.
Wayne.
I'm in the middle of a emergency. I have to drive somewheres, and I'm driving right now. My whole
No,
family
I feel
right
you.
to past your house, bro, and I'm just in the middle. I got my kid in the car
No,
right now.
don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody. But listen, this is my problem. It's like I love Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? But Lil Wayne, he wasn't besides the punchlines, I get it. The punchlines were great, you know what I'm saying? Smell good like Lysol. I don't know. Whatever he was saying, he wasn't saying anything that really was ringing like lyrically. He literally was just giving you punchlines off the top of his head, you know what I'm saying? Like basically, incorporating colors, shapes, and sizes. I mean, it wasn't nothing of any significance.
No,
So how
let me
can
explain
we
something. Let me
go
explain
over
something. So
Scarface?
here's the algebra to that. Okay, there's a difference. We all know all these out. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing about Jay-Z. There's no two Jay-Z's. But every single great artist like Lil Wayne, Eminem have a different thing where it's just like, all right, he can possibly have a verse where he wasn't as great as, or said some corny ass shit or whatever, because Eminem does some stuff where people are like, yeah, I don't really like that kill your baby mom stuff and all that shit or whatever.
My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips.
Right. But at the top of his game, and let's say his best, you know what I'm saying, best lyrics. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was torn between Andre and Lil Wayne, because I love Andre, and it had nothing to do with the big boy, because we all know that Andre had two quotables. Andre was the lyricist, even though Big Boy was dope. Back in the days, like I said, the whole world did not accept that Big Boy still rapped like the South, and they considered that Andre was just, you know what I'm saying, he had more of a smoother and the way he said things. And like, you asked me to spit any Andre, I should have picked Andre, because you asked me to spit any Andre. I could spit AT-Aliens back and forth.
No, I want to move on because we got two more areas we need to discuss, and I'm loving it. So I got the popcorn, and so I think, is there any more challenges in this round? Or do we move into the next round? All right, so we can go to the next round. All right, judges.
Big up Master P, though, man. Big up Master P.
All right, so we're gonna go next.
Snoop Dogg at this point.
Master P.
We'll move around.
You should be ashamed of yourself, cuz.
Y'all ready? All right, let's get into this Midwest debate. On the Mount Rushmore, we asked all of you guys to pick somebody from the Midwest who would best represent your choice to be the Midwest artist on your hip hop Mount Rushmore. I want to start with Vinny. Vinny, let me start with you. Who would you have picked?
I chose Mr. Marshall Mathers, Eminem.
Eminem. Wayne, who did you choose?
I had Common.
All right, Common. Cookie, who did you choose?
Common.
All right. And Mike, who did you choose?
Mr. Controversial, but Mr. Chicago, Kanye West.
All right. And Al, who did you choose?
I picked Kanye, but I didn't know Eminem was a part of it. But I'm you know what? I'm gonna stick with Kanye, and I'm gonna argue that.
All right, then I'm gonna go right over to Mark Rich and say, find out who you want to challenge, Mark Rich.
That's tough. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go with Eminem.
All right,
that
who
was
picked
you,
it?
Wayne?
That was me.
No, that was you, Vinny.
I knew it was coming. I knew I was about to get hit with it. Here we go. Knew it was coming.
Hey, so
Kanye was my rival pick, though. Boy, it was close to Kanye.
All right. So with Eminem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which of his albums would you consider a classic? And can you name me 5 songs from that album?
Dude, man, I wouldn't be able to name you that.
Could you give me 3? From a classic album that Eminem had?
He had, dude, I hate to see that. That's where I get all messed up when I got to do all that real quick. Off the top of my head, can I read it? Can I go read it? I'm gonna get womp.
Did he have a classic album in your opinion?
Hold on.
Did he have a classic album in your opinion?
I think he did.
Which one?
Yeah, that I like to listen to.
Which one would you say? Off the top of the head, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady LP. What's the other ones? Revenge, Redemption, whatever the last one was.
No.
Which one is your one?
I liked a lot of Eminem's, like his older stuff. It was kind of mixed up with me, like where he had White America, Superman, because he was kind of comical to me. He had a lot of comedy in that stuff, but his lyrics was really great. And I didn't really keep up with, all right, this album is this one. So I'm just not even good about all the hip hop like that anyway, to be honest with you. But I knew he had a lot. He was
enough to put him on your.
I mean, he was the things
Midwest Mount Rushmore.
But he was, he was a white boy. He brings some diversity in my white Rushmore. He was the first and best white boy that gets to do it. If anybody had to do it, he definitely could rap. He could rap fast, and you understood what he was saying fast. He was really good at that and had great metaphors. And how many he had? I think he had like 100 million worldwide records sold worldwide, and he
sold a lot of records. But my problem with that is, what's the replay value on it?
I don't know. I mean, he's got a healthy net worth, 210. He owned that drug habit he had too. He wrote a couple. He was a great writer, but he owned that drug habit. He wrote a few songs about that too. He came back. And he owned it though. He didn't try to hide it, and he stuck with it, still by his guns. Dr. Dre stood behind him too. He saw the talent in him. And Dre was definitely an icon in our time. So he saw that talent in him too as well to be that. He's like, I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit, and I'm gonna pull him up and make it happen. So that's why I chose him. I know as far as organizing all his discography and where his songs and stuff at, I don't really know as much, but he's definitely done well from the Midwest, but it could have easily been Kanye. I think definitely Kanye probably should have been the pick I should have made, really. But really, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. We're going to go to who's next? Marlon, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. This challenge is for two people, the people that pick Common.
All right. And who are that? Who are they?
That would be Chandra
and I
think Wayne.
Sandra and Wayne. Okay.
Kanye, arguably, one of the best producers, one of the best rappers, the Grammys, the impact. Common had to go to Kanye to get better beats for his subpar albums before. I see you, Chandra. I see you. So tell me why both of y'all picked Common over Kanye.
So let me stop you right there.
Ooh. Here we go.
Hold on, look at popcorn.
Here we go. Come on, Cookie.
Common is a part of Soulquarians, which consists of Quest and Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla is the architect of every beat. He did not have to go to Kanye. He had No ID. No ID mentored Kanye West.
Right.
So he did not have to go to Kanye. What he went to Kanye for was a platform to get on a broader range of audience.
Right.
So he didn't have to go to him for a better quality of beats. He had to go to him for more exposure, granted. However, if your in-house producer is Kanye's mentor, you can't be on my Rushmore at that point. You just can't. Common recognizes talent, which is why he aligned himself with Jay Dilla, which is why he had No ID. And anything that came out of the Midwest after 2005 or 6 arguably is Kanye West. But anything before that is Jay Dilla and No ID. So that's why Common and lyrically, Common has evolved because his first joint was just childish. Just his cadence wasn't there. He finally started hitting his stride maybe when he linked up with the Soulquarians. He hit his stride. So he has evolved, whereas he's still elevating, and Kanye has basically become stagnant. And you can attribute that to Jay-Z. So that's why Common is my Mount Rushmore.
May I add on to that? You mentioned why I chose Common. I agree with Shonda. His affiliation with the Soulquarians, Questlove, that whole Philadelphia sound, that was impactful. But the reason I chose him is because I know that he can freestyle like no other. Starting off as a DJ and later becoming an MC and being a pioneer for the Midwest, that's why I chose Common. Now, let me say this about Eminem really quick. I felt kind of bad after I submitted my list because it was Eminem that opened the door for Griselda, which is from Buffalo. And by them being from Buffalo and blowing up, somebody approached me to help them write a book about the history of hip hop here in Buffalo. I could trace that back to Eminem doing his thing. With that being said, I have to give it up to Common because of how he came about and how he paved the way. That's why I chose him. And again, his affiliation with the Roots and that whole neo soul movement, that kind of pushed me in his direction. It was hard for me because it was down to those two. And the reason I didn't choose Kanye West is because, to my knowledge, we were going on where an MC or an artist was born. I believe Kanye West was born in Atlanta and his family moved to Chicago as opposed to being from Chicago. That's why I didn't choose him, or that played heavy into my decision. So there you go.
All right.
And lastly, when it comes to Common, when he...
What'd you say, Mark?
I was saying that he repped the shy, though. He was born in Atlanta, but he repped the shy.
I understand.
He's always
He does. He does, and I get that, and I did consider that. It got considerably hard. But looking at place of birth, that played heavily into my decision to choose Common. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
okay, your last note.
But that's like saying that Ludacris is a Midwest artist because he was born in Chicago. Kanye,
I understand.
moved back to Chicago.
No, I understand that, and I appreciate that he was born in Chicago and they moved to Atlanta. I just did it based on place of birth and place of origin. It would have been easy for me to say that Tupac was on my Mount Rushmore for the West Coast, but Tupac is from the Bronx, New York. I got mad love for the Bronx because the Bronx gave me my wife that had all of my children. But in fairness, I couldn't put Tupac up there like that because of where he was initially from. And that was the criteria I used to choose Common over Kanye. It was tough, but that's why I chose the way I chose.
All right.
Last thing about Common, can I say this? Because I know I didn't use my 2 minutes. I did not use my 2 minutes.
Use about 1 minute and 45 seconds. You got 15. Go ahead.
Yes, you are her too.
Anytime you can freestyle and you have to have Minister Farrakhan basically mediate between you and the West Coast, you a bad man, because Common single-handedly took down Ice Cube, who is on my Rushmore, and he went at Aubrey Graham and obliterated him as well. So Common is a bad man.
It bothers me when the gods get to acting like the broads. Listen, man, we don't even want to go there. Drake already dealt with Common, you know. He could have he obliterated him on Stay Scheming. Listen,
Yardy. No, he didn't. Yardy. No, he didn't.
Drake had what's
Drake
his name?
had to go to French Montana and Rick Ross to get back.
No, they went to Drake. Darling. Let's get it right.
Took him down, and he went at all three of them.
You know the worst part about Drake is when we talking about Drake.
French Montana was the backup.
One man went at all three of them by himself. Shot after shot after shot, and he sat Ice Cube down, and he called Farrakhan to the table to say, we got to squash this. He is no bitch ass when it comes to the mic, when it comes to the dome. He's no bitch ass.
Listen, Serena Williams has some stuff that Drake has on him. You know, Shorty want to tell me something about a rap nigga. I tell her that it's more attractive when you hold it down. You know what I'm saying? We know who she is.
I used to love her, put the whole West Coast on their ass and made them come at Common. And he took them down with the bitch in you. And Farrakhan had to intercept so that it wouldn't become another Biggie and Pac situation. Please don't come for Common.
Listen, man.
So he called Farrakhan to make sure that it wasn't a Biggie.
Electric Circus was a good album.
All right, that's the sound. It's time to move on. All right, we have some more challenges. I'm going to keep it moving. And so we just did one in that round. So we got three more challenges. Who's next? Candace, Marlon. Okay, Ashley, go ahead.
I have a challenge for Michael. 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 All right. So your pick is Kanye. Now we all know that Kanye initially really got on producing for Rockefeller Records.
Right.
Do you feel he had a bigger impact as a producer or as a solo artist?
That's an interesting question, and I respect it. There's two Kanyes, and I think Kanye, my answer is, as a producer, he used that to get himself to where he believed and knew what he was going to be as an artist, right? But he had to facilitate what he needed to facilitate for the great ones like Jay-Z. Literally, in my opinion, Kanye coming along with Just Blaze, of course, kind of shifted the sound that, Dipset, a few others benefited from. So Kanye was necessary in that position at the time. So yeah, I would think as a producer, he definitely impact his ideas creatively. Would definitely, in my opinion, say as an artist, I'll go with Kanye as a producer, as I'm balancing it out. But as an artist, I don't leave him far behind. I think Jay-Z fed off Kanye off Watch the Throne. I think Kanye threw Jay-Z a bone on that one, to be honest. Jay-Z needed to revamp himself. And shortly thereafter, we were able to get the 444, which in my opinion was Jay-Z's best body of work in a long time, up to that point. So I believe Kanye is very impactful as an artist as well, inspirationally, when he was at his peak as an artist. And like I said, producer-wise, there's so many artists at the time that benefited from the Kanye sound on Rockefeller. So producer-wise, I'd give it to him. And then artists shortly thereafter, they're stages, but producer first.
All right, go to Candace next.
So I'm actually in Chicago. So thank you very much for picking Chicago artists. But I have two questions. One, what was the last album that and this is for anybody who picked Kanye. What was the last album that Kanye actually represented Chicago on? That he really spit bars about Chicago?
On Watch the Throne, there was some bars talking about Chicago. I can't remember the record, but I believe it was like track number 8 or 9. That's how I go by the project. But Kanye, to be honest, if we go to I'd say Late Registration would probably
right. Right. Watching Through the Throne was in 2012. It's 2021.
Fair. Look, we get it. But who else would you pick above Kanye?
Coming from the Midwest, I would actually pick Twister. Anyway, my next question is.
But once again,
everybody woke up on that one.
My next,
hold up. I was listening to some Do or Die today. I was listening to Do or Die today, actually.
I'm challenging now. My next question is, what influence has Kanye had on any?
Oops, drop it.
Oh shoot!
You shut it down?
Nah, she must have dropped out. Yeah.
She dropped off.
Chicago government.
She was about to talk that shit too, boy.
All right, so let me just move on until she pop back in. And let's go to either Mark, Rich, or Marlon. You guys got a challenge?
Let's see.
If you don't, we'll move on.
I'm gonna go Vinny.
Say again.
I'm gonna go Vinny. You had
he going to Vinny? Vinny's going for you, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny had Eminem.
Yeah.
Oh, I already won that Vinny. Never mind. I'm good. I'm sorry.
All right. It's all good.
Okay. Let's see. All right, real quick. Let me jump over here to Facebook, see what's popping. Twister got. All right. So I'm waiting, trying to stall for. Up here she comes. Excuse me. Okay. All right, you back, Candace? Candace, we didn't hear the end of your challenge. Last part.
I'm sorry. Something's going on with StreamYard. Yeah. The end of my challenge was give me a Chicago rapper except for Chance that Kanye has had a super large impact on. And this isn't just for Michael. This is anybody that picked Kanye.
Go G. Okay. Did he influence Lupe?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Kanye, yeah, of course. And Lupe amazing.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Other than Lupe, who's made an album since 2017, is there anybody else coming out of Chicago that Kanye has been, other than Chance, that Kanye has been the major influence for?
Yeah, I mean, Kanye jumped on that rap is something that I don't. That Chief Keef records. That record went extra big when Kanye just like sneezed on it.
So Chief Keef. Like, so you would say that Kanye, which was Chief Keef's major influence?
Nah, but you need that.
That was my question.
Nah, but I'm saying, but if you're talking about someone that's sitting in an upper echelon part of the game and looking at a youngster coming out of Chicago, he didn't shun on it. He didn't shun him. He you know what I'm saying? He put more light on it.
As far as lyricism, style, Lupe, I'll take it. Chance, I'll take it. Anybody else? I want to know who that other person is.
I really don't have one.
Thank you.
But hold up, Candace, hold up. In all fairness, you got to say that he reached back to a few artists. You're looking at maybe lyrical, abilities in studios, how long they worked together in the studio, worked on albums. But if someone has a major record, which I think Drake does well, by the way, is when someone has a big record, you reach back and you shine a little light on them. And I think Kanye's done a great job at that.
Right. And I would agree with shining the light. I don't agree with they were major influences as far as their cadence, their rhyme style, the way they present a track, even their beats. So don't like sounds like a more southern influence than anything else. So
well, Don't Like was the start of drill. I mean, whether it was southern or whatever, but Chicago. Shouts out to Chicago, y'all. Your contribution to rap is drill. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, our contribution to rap is a whole lot more than that. But thank you for a shout out.
But I'm saying, but right now, you can't ask any youngster what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you that Chicago's,
it's shooting everybody.
Well, you know what? I have to say this, even though I'm not.
You gonna put one of these shooters on?
Chicago, I have to say this, in all due respect, Mike. Chicago is a beast when it comes to rap. You cannot take anything away from Chicago. There's been some major talent out of Chicago. Not just Common, not just Kanye.
Pope Pimp, all them records. We can go. I agree with you. I'm not saying no.
Not even just them. I'm talking about people that's not even heard of, like mainstream Rhyme Fest. You can't take anything away from Chicago.
Rhyme Fest is amazing.
You can't. So I mean, besides the mainstream Lupe Fiasco, who kind of had a little bump in the road with his little Obama comments, you can't take any Vince Staples. You can't take anything away from them. You really can't. Chicago is amazing.
Facts.
Agreed.
And shout out to the rest of the Midwest, even though y'all can only find 3 artists from the Midwest in this whole conversation.
All right, so let's move on. Where we at?
Candace, it ain't no y'all.
All right, any more challenges in this round? No, you good, Marlon? You good? You good? All right. All right, so let's get ready for the next round. And
bongos.
Wow. I just randomly picked some shit out. All right. So, anyways, let's get into it. Let me go down the line. I'm going to start with Vinny. Vinny, who did you pick for your international artists?
Brother Drake.
Drake. All right. You just made Saint smile. All right. Wayne, who did you pick for your international?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep. We hear you.
I have Slick Rick.
Slick Rick, my man. I can't wait to see where that goes. All right. Cookie, who did you pick for your international artist?
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Oh, can't wait to see where that one goes. Mike Scott.
I just say something.
Not yet.
No, you cannot.
I'm coming back to you, but hold on. Just hold on.
She already copping, please.
Mike Scott, who'd you pick for your international artist?
I picked Popcorn's second daddy, Drake.
All right. Al, who'd you got for your international artist? You're muted, Al.
Drake.
All right. So let's jump into
Drake.
All right. So before we go down this, go ahead, Cookie. You wanted to put out a disclaimer or something?
Yes, I do. You know, because I asked you to clarify what international was. And I said, is it Northern Shores? Aubrey Graham is not international, because if that's the case, Slick Rick is not international, even though Wayne, I know your criteria is where they were born. It's not where you're born, it's what you're representing. And Slick Rick represented New York City. That's all I'm going to say. If you coming from overseas, that's international, people. So y'all little Aubrey is 20 minutes away from Buffalo. He is.
Yes, he is.
It's still another country. It's all right.
It's not another country. It is international. Overseas.
Last I checked, I can't get across the border unless I got that. I could use
passport.
Passport.
Yeah, or an enhanced license.
Enhanced license.
It's still another country, though.
Listen, man. Listen, international counts for being able to have worldwide abundance. That
would be anybody.
Drake. Popcorn flies on Air Drake. That's all I gotta say. Popcorn. He can't wait to get on. I didn't even call him popcorn. I call him popcorn. Popcorn.
Nigga said popcorn.
Popcorn.
I like that Slick Rick pick, though. I like that.
Clarify international, DT.
International. I would go to my judges, but they're not on
Air
here.
Drake.
Do anybody want to challenge? Anybody on our team want to? We talked about this. I tried to vet this to make sure we were all on the same page.
I mean, my challenge.
I thought it was not born in
the United States. I would say.
I'm gonna bring Saint in. Hold on, bring Saint in.
Nah, you know this motherfucker gonna say.
Don't bring Saint in.
Yeah, I hear you, Marlon. I hear you.
You don't have your Drake pom poms?
Hey,
Yo, y'all.
Saint, is Drake international?
Apart from definitely. Yo, listen. Respectfully, none of y'all Americans can come into Canada without a passport. The same way how you need a passport to travel overseas.
Or an enhanced license.
Okay, well, the reality is it's a different country. So yes, Drake is an international artist. You know, it doesn't matter how close the border is, right? The reality is it's a different country. So he is an international artist.
I clarified that.
And there's Air Drake, Saint. Don't leave out Air Drake. Everybody aboard. Everybody aboard. Which country are you going to today? Brazil? The president of Brazil just where are you going today?
I'll read on right.
So yes, you guys can go on. You guys can go on and debate your internationals for sure. But yeah, Drake is international.
All right, so let's get into it. There you have it. Rika,
hey, international it is.
Rika, you want to jump in and say anything? Shake your head, yes or no? Are you good? Okay, all right, let's get into it. So let's find out now. Let's get into the challenges, right? We already went down the line, and we know who everybody chose. So let me start with the king of challenging, and that would be Marlon or Marquel. Which one of y'all want to go first?
You want it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the popcorn thing because, you know, I do appreciate the fact that you pick popcorn because I fuck with popcorn. The problem with popcorn is when we brought him up in our meeting, half of the people don't even know who he is. So when you're talking about impact and you're talking about discography, you can't even name an album that we would even be familiar with. You can't. If you can name 3 songs, that solo songs that Popcorn has that we are familiar with, then you may have an argument.
I can name a few, but you know, like I said, I didn't pick him though. But Popcorn, he's got records. He's got records.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about, like, as a panel, there's certain artists that we can name on this Mount Rushmore that there's no doubt about. Everybody knows about. Can name at least one, like, pretty great album on.
Q, you're kind of cutting up, and your audio is getting really loud and crackly. I don't know if you did anything different or if you can make any adjustments, but it would help if you could. What do you think? All right.
Yeah, I had to switch my headphones on.
Okay. All right. So, Cookie, he was speaking to you. You still there? You froze. Okay, you there, Cookie?
Right.
About the popcorn. All right. So I think Mark Rich has a challenge.
He's absolutely right. And like I told Marlon when we had this discussion last week, Saturday, when he called to harass me, I told Marlon that he was a random choice, and I wish I would have had time to think it out. Here's what it is.
Okay. Marlon, you want to respond while Q get his stuff together? It says, is there a challenge to what her choice here? Is there an official challenge?
I got a challenge for everybody that picked Drake.
Hold on, Marquel was started it. I don't know if I cut him off.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
Q, did you have a
Yeah, challenge? I mean, she pretty. Yeah, my challenge was what impact has Popcorn had on hip hop culture? Like,
well, see, here's the thing. International to me is somebody that's not on northern shores. Canada is on northern shores. So that's why I didn't pick anybody from Canada. If we were going to go international, that could have been anybody in the United States included. And like I explained to Marlon, I told him that reggae comes around in waves. You have the godfather of reggae, you have Marley, and then you have people that came after him, people that come in waves, and then it comes and goes. However, the only reason why I chose him is because he is signed to Drake,
and he's international. He's not on Northern Shores. And I felt that by him getting behind the OVO brand, that he would eventually maybe be the person to have reggae kind of have some stick-to-itiveness, because Sean Paul can't just be the face of reggae right now. Every time you turn around, he's popping up.
Freeze there. Okay.
Hey, somebody brought up Akon.
I just want to say something. I mean, Chandra, how every time we talk about popcorn, I just can't help just to think about that you're overlooking Vibes Cartel. I don't care. Let's take murder charges out of this. Let's take it all out of this. If you're talking about dance hall reggae music in the last 12 to 15 years, can you even tell me the song that made popcorn? Tell me the song that made popcorn a legend right now. What song birthed popcorn into legendary status? What was the song?
I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm sorry. He did it.
I can tell you. I'm going to help you out. I will help you out. Okay? It's called Clarks.
You should help me out.
And when you get that new Clarks, the daddy, which color that? Body in a party, right? So that the Queen for England off, love off yardy, right? So that when you're talking about what birthed popcorn into commercial international status was just off a Vibes Cartel record.
Right.
All right. And multiple others. So I just don't understand. We skip over Popcorn's first dad, right? And then his dad went to jail, and then Drake adopted it. So he has a second dad.
Okay, hold that note on that.
Yeah, but Kanye.
Why you say it like that though?
Eminem and Kanye had dads too. You know, Dre was Eminem's dad first, right?
Okay.
Right?
No.
So everybody
Eminem.
had a vessel. Everybody has a vehicle to get them where they need to go.
Lil Wayne would be Drake's daddy. We're not talking about Lil Wayne or Drake. Right? We're talking about popcorn.
But
no, international artist that rides Air Drake when he needs a visa. Listen, you know how Jamaica works? When popcorn needs a visa to go anywhere.
Mike Scott, you brought up the metaphor.
When popcorn needs a visa to go anywhere in the world, you know what he has to call?
Exactly.
He has to call the embassy in Toronto, Canada. The embassy. Drake.
Okay. Question. International. Y'all pick Drake. Y'all pick Chandra. You're picking. You pick Slick Rick. Another person born in Jamaica. Probably one of the most impactful rappers ever. Born in Jamaica. None of y'all got Heavy D. Did y'all forget about Heavy D?
He was in my top 5. He was.
Shouts to Heavy D.
Hey, bro, Mount Rushmore. Heavy D from Mount Rushmore.
Shouts out to Hev.
I thought he was. I really thought he was like from New York. Seriously, I didn't know that.
You know, nobody said 21 Savage. Nobody said 21 Savage.
Bad.
Including you. You didn't say 21 Savage either.
Because we didn't know he was international. You know what I'm saying? He just, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
So got deployed.
All right, Marlon, that was the challenge.
So my challenge is for Wayne for picking Slick Rick, one of the greatest MCs arguably of all time. But as far as influence and legendary and catalog, and why would you pick Slick Rick over Heavy D?
Probably time period which he dropped. I'm a DJ and I've been doing this for 37 years now. I chose Slick Rick over Heavy D mainly because of when he dropped. And yeah, I know he had that hiatus there where he had to take a mandatory vacation. But Slick Rick, what he did on the show and then later turned around on Children's Story, the way he told stories, that is why I chose him. Once I chose him and wrote my list down and started thinking, Heavy D did cross my mind because not only is he a hip hop artist and he had huge success. He's more successful than Slick Rick. He was also a reggae artist, and I believe he left us too soon. But as far as influence goes and ushering in what they call the golden era of hip hop, I went back to Slick Rick, his impact and how he delivered his MCing, his style, how he delivered it to people, because he was a storyteller. He was an MC, but he was also a storyteller, which was unique at the time. That's why I chose Slick Rick.
Based off one album?
No, actually based off of two. The album, I mentioned the show, or maybe I didn't mention it, but I said 1985. That goes back to the show, even though he was with Dougie Fresh. He later went on to do that soul album in 94, 95. After he got out of jail, he did the album, and he had the single with Warren G, and he had another one with Outkast, where he was telling stories.
What's the name of them?
Ah, gosh, that's, now you got me. Take the point away. Yeah.
Okay.
But that is why I chose him.
Okay, gotcha.
I got a follow-up question to Marlins for Wayne.
Go ahead, Ashley. Go ahead.
So going back to the Heavy D challenge. So Slick Rick had 4 albums between 1988 and 1999. So over an 11-year time span, he had 4 albums, and he's been, I guess, off the chart, so to speak, now for 22 years. So he's been more off record for a longer period that he's been on record, and he's still alive.
Correct.
So that being said, I guess the 2-part question is, going back to Heavy D, if Heavy D was still alive, maybe not necessarily in music, do you think he would still have relevance today? And
Heavy D?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I think he would have more relevance as a reggae artist, because that's what he was doing. That was pretty much his last album, and he said he was moving in that direction. I do think he would have relevance and influence. And then not only that, he was also a really good producer. But we're not talking production, we're talking MCing. That also helped me make my decision on why I chose who I chose. But I do think Heavy D would have relevance today. He may have, I'm sorry, go on. I cut you off.
I was going to say, as overall contributions to hip hop, if you go back to Heavy D and how you say he was a producer and his contributions in reggae and other things he had going on from the business aspect, I guess I'm still having difficulty with your justification for picking Slick Rick when Slick Rick is still alive and he's irrelevant. But you're saying if Heavy D were alive, he would have relevancy today. So
yes, I also said,
if they both were still alive, so to speak.
Right. I believe Heavy D would have more relevance and influence, but I also believe that it would be along the lines of reggae. Again, that's what he was doing. That was towards the end of his time here on Earth, right before he made his transition. When you mentioned Slick Rick, you mentioned 4 albums between 1988 and 99. I mentioned 1985 moving forward, because again, that record, The Show, that was like the anthem for that summer, and not The Show, Lottie Dottie. That was one of the anthems for that summer. And 3 years later, he popped up again. So we're talking 15 years. No, he's not relevant today, but his impact on, again, what they call the golden era of hip hop, that's what I'm basing it on. Also hearing people like Q-Tip say, someone with a unique voice made me believe that I could do this, that helped me out. So that's what I'm saying. That's why he's on my Mount Rushmore.
All right, another challenge.
Yeah, I got a challenge.
I ain't got challenged in 3 years, in three rounds. I ain't even get to say nothing about my Midwest.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you popped out. You lost you for a minute and you came back in. But listen, because of that, because you're not getting challenged much, we're going to end up giving you some bonus questions to answer. And if you'll get a chance to grab them, but if you can't answer them, someone else can steal and get the points for them. So we still got to wait for you to stay back in the game. All right. So stick with us.
Oh, are you saying I'm back? I'm way far, so I need to get back. I thought I was ahead.
No, he
hey,
Marlon challenged Joe Drake.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, you did have a challenge.
I thought Marlon had challenged Drake.
Did you, Marlon?
I ain't say nothing about that whack ass Drake.
All right, so
nah. I'm gonna let them have that Drake challenge.
All right. So where were we at? We just interrupted somebody.
I got a challenge from Michael.
All right.
Michael, first of all, let me say this about this whole internationalist. Y'all are hella disappointed. I'm just gonna pull it out. I'm just gonna say it. There's lots of people that were foreign born, and for like most of y'all to pick Drake, that like kind of makes my soul hurt. So, Michael, you picked Master P, who's more of a label owner than he was ever actually a rapper. You picked Kanye, who you admittedly said would probably be, you would put a producer over a rapper. So my question is, why did you put Drake over Wyclef that was born in Haiti?
You know what? Shouts out to Wyclef. I had the pleasure to work with him and actually smoke some weed with him, man. He's a great dude and a great storyteller. Like phenomenal dude. Straight up. But I picked Drake, number one, Toronto forever. And that's just where that goes right there. And then we're just going to talk about an artist right now that literally has touched every part of the world. And I mean, we talk about Jay-Z, we talk about some of the greats, respectfully do. I'm not even coming at nobody, but we're just going to talk about, I saw this thing the other day that had like this 10-year window of like dominance, and different artists popped up on the scene, and literally Drake had a 10-year, like, and still to this, probably to this moment, Drake is still, if they did this chart, we would just see all the artists with their great runs, the greatest runs in the last 10 years. Actually, it was the greatest runs since like they had Michael Jackson in there. They had like Michael Jackson dominated for like a very long time. Having just riding the top of the charts and running the world as an international artist. Once you dominate nationally, certain artists, they become international artists where people see them and they faint, and the ambulance has to come peel girls out of the front row and stuff. Drake is on that level.
Did he just say people faint over Drake?
Hell yeah! When Air Drake lands, hell yeah! When Air Drake touches down, fam. Right now, if Air Drake touches down,
girls, Marlon, 15-year-old girls.
Yeah, if Air Drake touches down in Buff right now,
Marlon can't take it.
Q.
I'm literally
first of all, he's gonna draw for Griselda, right? Drake is not gonna touch any city without getting the Mandem involved. You know Drake. Everybody knows Drake. You know how he rolls. You're gonna see Griselda on Air Drake at Buff Airport, right?
They are supposed to have a single coming out together.
I'm just saying. Wait, he put Drake in Michael Jackson status?
Yeah, I did put Drake because he's had that many number ones, bro. He's just had that many number ones, bro. We don't gotta talk about it.
Can I say something with Drake? He, you know what I'm saying? Besides the fact of calling out his other talents, because, you know what I'm saying, he's a talented kid, man. I still say kid because, he's came in young or whatever, but he is a talented person. He has a lot of different aspects, a lot of good ideas. And, like me personally, I don't know the statistics, how, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mark asks questions and shit. What's the suicides and shit? I don't know all the statistical stuff like that sometimes. On some people, but as far as like when you have the definition of Mount Rushmore, you know what I'm saying? You have George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. You don't have Thomas Paine because nobody knows who the fuck Thomas Paine is. You know what I'm saying? But if you put his face up there, they'll be like, who the fuck is that? They'll be like, Thomas Paine, fucking wrote Common Sense. You don't know who that is? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? So like as far as like the artists, like maybe a Slick Rick, you could put him up there because of the fucking patch. You're like, yeah, that's fucking Slick Rick. Of course I know who that is up there. Jay-Z, we know he's gonna know who's up there. T.I. or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain people that the world has impacted, the forefathers and then the future, which is the Roosevelt. Roosevelt was the future, so that's why he was put on after the forefathers.
When you're done, Al, I'm going to say something.
Ain't nobody that's the future.
Listen, Marilyn, I want you guys to know this right now. If I could pick 5 right now, it would be Drake, and Drake. Okay? And that's just, so who want to be mad with that? You just asked me some definitive.
I guess you're a fan of Drake, right?
For you, for you to be, and I'm hearing it from you to be from, I'm assuming from the Yard, for you to like that fake ass Yardie, you blowing me right now.
No, it's not about liking a fake ass Yardie. Popcorn was the one that made him feel like he could do it. I was mad at Popcorn for this. I wasn't mad as a Jamaican. Boy, I was born in Spanish Town Hospital. I was born as a Jamaican. I was upset at Popcorn for letting Drake get the pass and be able to be eating some popcorn right now. Listen,
Cardinal Official made him feel like he could do that. Don't tell me.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'm from Toronto. Cardinal Official is an amazing dude, but check this out. Cardinal Official, when he was telling y'all, listen, official right now, because he's official. We're not even official. He's official. He's a legend in Toronto. He's official.
I'm getting the last point on this. I'm wrapping this up. Go ahead.
But I will say this. Cardinal came through with Bacardi slang. Y'all didn't respect it. Y'all didn't respect when he was trying to say "don't know" and "fam" and some of the things that I hear now that Drake has come along, and I hear American artists using some of these lingos now, right? And just like we piggybacked off a lot of lingos when we didn't know ourselves, when Toronto didn't know ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. It's Drake. If you're talking about Drake as an international artist, Drake is Popcorn's daddy number 2, right? Adoption.
And Lil Wayne is Drake's daddy.
That's okay. That's okay. But guess what?
Right. All right.
He outgrew him, and now he can take Lil Wayne in the wheelchair and say, "Yo, Dad, you're in a nursing home. I'm taking care of you now." That's what Drake is doing for his dad. That's what Popcorn can't even acknowledge Vibes Cartel.
Wait, is Popcorn an artist? I just want to know, is Popcorn an artist? Because I feel like an old dude that don't even know who the fuck Popcorn is. I'm gonna Google this shit.
I don't blame you,
bro.
I don't blame you. I don't know who
his name is. Popcorn. Is it Popcorn?
And I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Michael, like it's like while you was turning, like as you was talking, like you turned real fucking Canadian, and I thought you was about to say boat earlier. Boat, I'm sorry. I think you were about to say I'm sorry or some shit. Like you all of a sudden you just turned fucking Canadian and shit.
All right. Any more challenges on international artists? We good?
I have one more challenge. That's it, and I'm done.
Nicki Minaj.
I have one more. So, and this is to anybody that picked Drake. I'm looking at Vinny. So J. Cole was born in Germany. So is J. Cole better? Is Drake a better lyricist than J. Cole?
Absolutely.
Hell no. And that's Drake.
Yes.
Hell no.
I support you.
J. Cole got
Good answer, Vinny. Good answer.
Drake Cole
got more hits.
Bar for bar.
J. Cole just took the rollie from Drake the other day.
See, Drake can sing it and rap it.
See, y'all right that wave.
Not better than J. Cole. He's not better than J. Cole. He's not better than J. Cole. No.
Yeah, starting.
No. Hell no.
No. I'm riding that light skin wave.
All right. So that's what we needed. All right. So we wrap this up. Now, at this point, the judges are going to go into deliberation, and we're going to wait for them to come back. So at this point, it's kind of a freestyle. I'm gonna toss it over to my crew first if they got any extra questions, or if they. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask my crew in their opinion now that the judges are doing their thing, and from this point on, there are no points scored for this part of the debate. But I'd like to know from Marlon, Candace, and we lost you, and Ashley, who do you think did a great job tonight in defending their position? I'm gonna start with Ashley. Ashley, if you had to put some money on somebody, Matter of fact, wait. Let's wait, because I still see I guess the judges. Okay, well they can't give any points based on this conversation. But in your opinion, who do you think did the best, and who do you think could have done better?
I don't know that I want to answer who could have done better per se, because I think everybody just brought something different to their argument. But I do think Chandra had the most facts to support her list, along with her opinion. So she had fact-based opinions to support her list. So I think she did an excellent job at defending her list, whether or not I could agree that that would be my top Rushmore. I could receive why that would be her list.
Okay, Candace, who do you think did really good, and who do you think left some points on the table?
I think Wayne actually did really good. I think he did really good of building a list that was different. Keyword different. That was different than a lot of other people's lists, and he had his research and his facts down packed, and it wasn't an emotional or opinion-based list. It was a solid list. Who do I think left points on the table? Vinny came with some good stuff, but he left points on the table, especially with that Snoop one. I mean, first of all, I can argue against Tupac being from the West Coast all day, and I can argue for Tupac being from the West Coast all day. But I will say that Snoop embodies the culture of the West Coast, and you went up, down, and around that fact before you actually said it. So, I mean, I feel like you left points on the table.
All right, Marlon, who you think did very well? Who you think left points on the table?
I think they all did very well. They all came with facts. I think everybody really left points on the table. It was a lot of points y'all all left on the table.
How so?
Example, like people pick, like somebody says somebody was better. If that's your Mount Rushmore, never say somebody else was better. So I think y'all kind of we shuffled y'all a little bit. If this is your list, stick to it. Don't say, oh, well, yeah, I could have picked. No, don't do that. But y'all came with facts. Y'all back y'all stuff up. But Drake on Michael Jackson level, that's points.
Ashley, who do you, out of all the lists that were submitted, which list impressed you the most? Just based off the list, the choices that they chose.
I gotta remember which. Now I gotta go back and look at my notes here because.
Well, which one stood out? Let me go to you, Marlon, because you got a kind of a photographic memory when it comes to this.
Say it again.
Which list did you find when you looked at all the lists? Which one to you stood out the most? Which one that impressed you the most?
Impressed me. I want to say the Midwest, because I think everybody would have picked Pac or Jay. That's the safe choice. So the Midwest.
I thought you meant the overall list.
So, I mean, everybody had a different, everybody came different. So,
all right, Candace, I see you shaking your head. What's your thoughts?
If I had to pick a list that was impressive to a certain extent, it would have been Cookie's list, because I totally respect the popcorn. Even though I disagree with it, I totally respect it. You could have picked Shine. You could have picked Spice if you wanted to keep it above. But I respect the fact that she reached out there, right? She didn't go for the common denominator.
So in the past, we've looked at people's lists and we thought that some people created easy lists. Did that happen in this game? Did anybody think there's a list that was just easy to put together? Marlon, you shaking your head? Yes. What's your thoughts?
The West Coast, wherever, I think it could have been a little bit more diverse. Everybody picked Pac. Most everybody picked Pac or Cube.
And you think someone could have topped Pac or Cube?
Yeah. How nobody had Too Short. Nobody had Scarface, number one. That just blows my mind. Nobody picked Scarface. I'm still tripping on that one.
From the South, nobody picked Scarface. Nobody picked Bun B. Nobody picked.
I wanted to put the Bun B. I'm saying we're not picking. Scarface is the one undebatable one that somebody should have picked, and I was gonna pick him. But like I said, I was thinking by definition Mount Rushmore, just like definition Midwest is the reason I didn't pick because it's a certain region, and like if you really think about it, like Houston is like Midwest too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's down south, but they have a different. They have it in the time zone. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. I looked at the time zone, and maybe that's why I would have fucked up.
If you go by time zone, South Bend, Indiana is literally cut in half. You can't go by time zone. If you ask almost anybody in the world, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota is all considered the Midwest. So, I mean, time zone is one thing, but Midwestern Standard Time is a whole different beast.
It's because all those certain places follow such a New York culture. It's just like you would think that they're East Coastish because they have a certain like Ohio and all them. You go to Ohio, motherfuckers is wearing Yankee hats and they're from Ohio. They love the New York culture.
Came out of Ohio.
That's a totally different. That's a different side. That's a different side.
Ohio and Bone don't sound nothing like New York.
There's two different cultures. There's two different cultures in that. It's just like with Tampa. With Tampa, it's a different melting pot.
If you want to keep it a buck, Griselda embodies Freddie Gibbs. They are lyrically bar for bar Freddie Gibbs. So you can't say that. You can't say that. That's the blueprint right there.
And where is Freddie from?
The beast.
And where's Freddie from?
From Michigan.
No, Freddie's from Gary, but still, he's from Indiana. He's from
Gary, Indiana. Okay. But he's
just like the Jacksons.
Midwest.
I'll say this. You mentioned how Griselda sounds like your man that you just mentioned. And when you get into time zones and cultures and where people live, that's kind of iffy. Up here in Buffalo, even though we're East Coast, we have a Midwest type of vibe because we're not as aggressive per se. But get here, you find out something else. So Michigan, even though they're considered Midwest, I could see where my man would think that Eminem was East Coast. He's not. That's Midwest. But all of that stuff, that's kind of encroaching something else, how people live and how they carry themselves. But I think everybody has valid points. They do. And I appreciate you having me on, DT.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man. Me and Wayne worked together back in the past. It was really good. I ain't seen him since then, so it's good to see you. 15
yeah, I got a lot more gray hair.
I got my.
Wayne, you're born and raised in Buffalo? You're from Buffalo?
Yes.
Born and raised. Oh yeah, Wayne.
Yep.
Because it's funny because like you gotta tell motherfuckers you from Buffalo because if you tell people from New York, they'll be like, man, you don't really sound like you're from New York. Because it's like totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like a totally different. I mean, you have your people that are like from Ithaca and they're like, oh, son, what up? But then you have your fucking Ithaca people who are like normal, regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, we have our own type of vibe up here, and we're unique. We stand out from everybody.
Hey, I actually believe it or not. Mark Rich just jumped back in. Mark, I was asking the crew who they thought did well and who they thought left some points on the table.
I would say
well, let me reverse it. Let me ask you another question first and then lead into that one.
Yeah.
The first question is of all the lists that were submitted, which list impressed you the most?
I think the list that probably impressed me the most was Wayne's, just because I felt like he went outside the box. You know, he chose some people that, most of us wasn't even thinking about, to be honest.
All right. Another question. Which list do you think was the easiest list to make? You know, we talk about in our meetings how some people choose the easy way out, pick the most popular so they don't have to really do the research or dig into it. And so did you feel that happened in this game?
Not really, just because it's like for your Mount Rushmore, you picking people who made huge impacts on the hip hop game, whether it be commercial or not. You know what I mean? So to me, no, I don't feel like anybody really took the easy way out. I think Jay-Z was, it was the popular pick, but I mean, he's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? So I feel like everybody's list was, I think they had a challenge.
Okay. Do you? And my first question I asked you that I said I'm tailing it is, who do you think did the best, and who do you think left some points on the table? The debate.
I think the person that did the best to me.
Because I've been wrong every game. I always think I know who won, and they never do.
Yeah, it's tough. Because I feel like this game, I feel like everybody pretty much was on point as far as the knowledge and doing their research and responding to the challenges. I would say to me, I feel like Michael did work. I feel like Michael did the best in my opinion. Just in defending his points. And then I feel like Vinny left some points on the board. No disrespect, Vinny. You know what I mean?
How so? What did he not do enough of? Or
I mean, I feel like he could have strengthened his Eminem argument. I feel like, me personally, I wouldn't have picked Eminem for my Mount Rushmore for the Midwest, but I definitely, if I would have chose him, I definitely would have had a better argument, in my opinion, for Eminem.
Okay. I'm going to go to the Facebook comments that I had not looked at in a while. So here's one of them. J. Cole is levels above Drake. All right. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people on this panel right now. How many agree with that? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay.
What is that shit? Corona? You guys is catching on. Why didn't you had to think about raising your hand? Come on.
They had to think about it. They had to think about it because I mean, if J. Cole could trade careers, he would.
They doing them like LeBron, dog. You always have like those LeBron haters. They're like, yeah, he's not good. LeBron really ain't that good. There's probably like 7 people in the NBA that's better than LeBron.
The integrity of a true lyricist. Don't do that. He would not trade careers.
Anybody, listen, man, creatively, here's what no one wants to, and this is the point where everyone wants to talk about Drake having writers. This is what happens when you create a multi-billion-dollar machine and you're too busy sometimes. Sometimes, people submit records. Y'all notice. Most of y'all probably have some hand in the game. You've done something with the music business at some point. You know that once you get into a major situation like Drake's in, you have people sending you records. You have people trying to get on as writers. You got producers, hook writers. You have all kinds of different things happening. That doesn't take away from Drake's skill set bar for bar. He proves that every time with Lemon Pepper freestyles, the 5 a.m. in Toronto, 5 a.m. He's proven it time and time again that he can rap. When Meek Mills came for him, back to back, slap to slap. Right? Come on, guys. Let's talk real facts.
Good motherfucking point.
Let's talk real facts.
Motherfucking point.
Yeah.
He had people walking.
So many
let's
people
talk real facts. Y'all said
he don't write his own this. He doesn't write his own that.
Hold on, let Candace go. Let Candace go.
Y'all said let's talk real facts. Fine. I'll give you your LeBron analogy, but some people can say LeBron hopped teams to get on a winning team, and Drake did that. I'm not saying Drake is garbage by a long shot. I'm not saying that. Do I think he's Michael Jackson level? No, but you're from Toronto. You're biased. But
yes, but you can't tell someone from Atlanta that D4 Ellis in the shit. You can't tell someone from Atlanta that Fable from D4 Ellis in the shit.
Let me finish. I personally, lyrically, bar for bar, J. Cole will beast Drake any day of the week.
Never.
And, unless Drake decides to take his hook. And then you have to go back to the history.
If they play basketball at Drake's house, I say J. Cole's a better basketball player at Drake's house.
No, I'm saying that Drake got on a better team than J. Cole did.
Yeah, I like that point. But what do you mean the team? What team did Drake have? What do you mean? You meaning the whole Cash Money?
Drake. Everybody knows about the embassy, right? And Khaled's been there. Many people have been there to play basketball at Drake's house.
I don't know who the team is. Who's Drake's team?
No, they have Toronto's Drake's team.
No, I'm asking Candace. Was her statement? Candace, on her perspective.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Because, you know, Drake, you swinging, ain't you, from Drake? The whole thing, when I say Drake team, I am talking about Cash Money. I am talking about that whole Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj. That was a lab that was built well. And Drake getting in on that, it catapulted him differently. I'm not saying that Drake isn't talented. I never said that. But pound for pound, I think J. Cole has it as a lyricist.
All right, wait. Let me say it. Let me bring this up. Okay, let's put J. Cole and Kanye. I mean, and my bad. Drake and J. Cole. We put them in a room. Boom. We put them in the same studio. You each come up with a different song. You guys mentally together by yourselves. You conduct the song. Talent-wise, Drake will come up with a better song. Hands down.
What about discography?
He'll come up with a more bestseller song, and not only that, he'll formulate something more other than just like some.
So you're saying Drake makes better songs than J. Cole?
Absolutely, and lyrically, he says things that go with those songs.
So what about?
You see, your lyrics is that last. As a producer, you know what I'm saying. The words are an instrument. Words are an instrument.
As a producer, let's take the music out of it. Let's say it was just Drake and J. Cole's going bar for bar in a battle, no beat. Who wins?
It would be like putting Jordan against LeBron at both of their primes. They're 5 times against each other. 5 times against each other.
Let me help you out.
You never know on any given day.
J. Cole finna kill his ass. Let me just help you out.
You know what?
He finna murder this nigga in the room.
Hey, but look, bar for bar. Hey, bar for bar. I'm a huge Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas, bro.
Is he a DJ?
Mark Rich?
Is he an artist? Mark Rich?
Yeah, I am.
I figured as much.
Yeah, he was. We met. He was on my radio show. He was a radio show host too.
I figured as much.
That voice, right?
Why you say that?
It's the voice. It's the cadence. It's the knowledge base. It's all of that. It's all of that. I figured as much.
That's funny.
That's a plug.
Question. What do y'all think about Joyner Lucas?
I think
Al, I'm gonna answer your question. My kid is a huge Joyner Lucas fan. At 10 years old, and he put me on to Joyner Lucas, and I like his music. Am I putting him in anybody's Mount Rushmore? Heck no. Do I like him?
I'm saying though, he's up lyrically and writing wise. He's definitely up in the top something, dog. He's not way back, dog. He surpassed some people lyrically to me.
You haven't been relevant long enough.
I'm here like
no. I'm just talking about how he spits and how he says the certain things, and then the way that he directs, because he's directing these videos. He has his hands in all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's putting his vision into all these videos, and like you watch. I don't know if y'all ever went down that Joyner Lucas rabbit hole, like 5 or 6, 7, 8 songs, but you will be so impressed with the top titles.
You know what?
He got songs.
In a minute, you gonna tell me like Post Malone is hot. I mean, I can't
fucking stand Post Malone. Hey, let me tell you something. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Background wise, I'm a real motherfucking gangster. You know what I'm saying? And like to me to even like fucking Drake, for me to even say this about Drake, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm a Jets fan and I'm a Bucks fan. So for me to say that Tom Brady,
somebody that Puffy smacked. I can't respect somebody.
Listen. We can talk about things that Puffy did. Let's not talk about. Let's not
motherfucker go 20 miles.
Not talk about what. Listen, man. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Sorry, I just
respect you. A big man like Puff. A big man like Puff Daddy.
That Puffy style. I will whoop Puffy ass.
All right, respectfully, I'm gonna say this. Cookie, Sandra. Listen to me. You got smacked in his face by a big man. But imagine a big, tough, black, gray man like Puffy being 50 years old to a youth like Drake at like 25 years old, being jealous and being upset because Drake sent him a record that he was supposed to do, and he didn't do it, so Drake did it. And it's the record went and blew up. And Puff was mad at that. He was mad at that. And he was out there. A lot of people were just mad that the Canadian came and has not left the top of the charts. It is what it is. So I understand the jealousy of a grown man that should actually look to the youth and be like, yo, you know what? Here comes a youngster. But because Puffy has a problem always hogging it, where's his artist? Jail, jail, jail,
Bro,
jail, jail. I just saw Black Rob. I just saw Black Rob lying in a bed.
Yo, you're not gonna shit on my Belizean brother.
We don't find our good music off of the charts, bro.
Vinny, you still there,
we
Vinny?
don't find our music off the charts.
Mike.
Again,
Is Vinny
I'm
still
not respecting somebody that Puffy smacked.
Mike, I got a question.
No. The judges are ready. I'm just waiting for a chance to kind of bring them back in. But I just Vinny's okay. So I'm gonna drop Ashley out and Candace. I'm gonna drop you out and bring Saint them in. All right.
Hey, just a quick note, man. I never got them little extra bonus questions, but that's all right.
Oh, that's right. So do we got time? Oh, no, it's way too late.
Nah. Fuck all that. We good, man. I'm just here for the fun, man. It's just fun.
Actually, you was doing good, so you really didn't need him because you did a real good job at defending.
This shit's real fun, man. I've never been on nothing. I enjoy shit like this, man.
That's your first Zoom call ever. Is that you saying that earlier? First time you've been on?
Yeah.
First Zoom call. He went to the store. He didn't roll around the store.
Hey, I played my numbers. I had to go play my numbers. That's why I went to the store.
and he stayed almost locked in the whole time. Like good internet. You got the ISDN or something.
5G.
That's what that is. All right, so yo, D said
that's my boy.
People. Let me
Vinny gone?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out. He did send me something saying that on his phone, but he's still up there on the screen. So, hey, Vinny, are you there? Vinny. Now I can drop him out and I'll bring in. Okay, so Saint Rika's in. We'll just put some people around here. Boom. All right. The judges are back. And aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Everybody, appreciate you guys hanging in here as we approach like the 3-hour mark. Appreciate all you guys taking your Sunday evening. You guys probably got to get up for work tomorrow, so I don't want to keep you guys too late. But definitely an entertaining show, and enjoyed listening to you guys spar, right? Me and Rick had an opportunity to just take some notes based on a lot of the stuff you guys were debating. And I'm going to start with just talking about some of the highlights of each of you guys, and then Rika's going to take over from there. I know Vince seems like he is gone. Very quickly, some of the things that, we took note of with Vince, we thought he did a good job of defending his Mount Rushmore West pick of Snoop, talking about him being beyond an artist, and he's just the face that a lot of people think of when you think of the West Coast. I know a lot of people think about Pac. Pac's been gone for over 20 years. So, undoubtedly a lot of people, especially a younger generation too, think about Snoop when they think about the West Coast. So he was correct with that. He was talking about his diversity as far as being a songwriter. He's also an actor, filmmaker. He talked about his commitment to the community in LA and the kids football league that he participates in. So he brought a lot of things that I think embodied Snoop and the person Snoop, and justified why he felt he should be on the West Mount Rushmore. One of the things that we felt was a bit controversial is his pick of Eminem. He kind of never really had any real valid reason for why he put Eminem on there, other than the fact that he said he wanted some diversity and that he was white, right? So we kind of wanted a little bit more meat and potatoes from that, and we never got it. Moving on, Wayne, very, very, very good defense of your East Coast pick, Rakim. Thought you did a good job there. Even, just the piece where you were speaking about Rakim introducing kind of more of a conversational rap versus rap music prior to that being a little bit more, I guess, maybe in your face and kind of a bit, I don't know if the right word is aggressive, but when you brought up that point, we thought it was something to um, give you some points for. Thinking about Rakim's style and how he did come into the game, and trying to think about the people that came before him and who had a very smooth style like him. We never really thought of anybody, right? So that was good. On the flip side, your defense of 3,000, we thought you could have did a better job of trying to figure out a way to separate Three Stack from Outcast, because a lot of your defense and a lot of the highlights you pointed to were still associated with Outcast the group, right? And not so much Andre 3000, the solo artist. So it's hard for us to kind of give points there. So that was one of the things we noticed as far as um, that, and we also thought, to your defense of Slick Rick, against Marlon's question comparing him to Heavy D, we thought you could have did a better job of justifying why Slick Rick you feel is a better international artist than Heavy D. But again, we really liked your defense of Rakim. Alfonso, like we said before we started this little judge segment, like, you're real entertaining. The fact that you're on the go, on the move, definitely passionate. One of the things that for this game makes it difficult for us to tally points is there's kind of this rule where you can't really switch your list once the list is submitted, because the challengers kind of plan based on that list and so forth. So there was quite a few moments where I know the challengers had one artist, but then you would be like, well, this is what I really wanted to put, and then you kind of switch it on the fly, right? But then you may go back to your original artist. So in those instances, it kind of creates a bit of confusion, right? Because essentially you would be speaking about two or three artists from the same coast, right? For example, at one point you were speaking about Ye and Eminem. Another point you were speaking about Three Stacks and Wayne from the South, right? So it's difficult for us to pick who your actual Rushmore is and allot points for that. Um, um, but again, very entertaining, and we love the passion that you brought to the show. And I'm going to let Rika take over from here.
Cool beans. So yeah, y'all wild. This was a wild group. I thoroughly enjoyed listening tonight. So a couple of more highlights that we want to point out. Mike, I'm gonna go to you. So your explanation of Pac being your West Coast artist. Thought you did great answering the challenges. Q challenged you on artists that Pac had beef with or mentioned in music that he had beef with, and so you were able to pull those out. Your mention of Hookah and Dawn, like that historical piece for those who are in Buffalo and remember when Pac got shot and how they handled that whole situation. Like I actually remember hearing that, so that was really dope for you to bring that in. Where you lost us at was like your contradiction on respecting a man, or not being able to respect a man who talks about somebody else's wife. It's like, come on, dog. Like, I need you to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand your personal growth, respect that, not knocking it. But yeah, it was just like, did you remember who you put? Did you remember hit him up? Like, okay, I understand the alleged, but Pac was mad disrespectful on that. And then the masterpiece. your argument on Master P that he found the rappers who could rap. You lost us on that one. It was like, well, where they at? Who is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, who were the rappers? You know,
I mean, you know, it was
which
a good,
one
it
of
was a
them
good
are
collective, you know, beats by the pound.
relevant today? I mean, I feel you. Like on the spot, like you was trying to come with it, and so like you get a B+ for effort. But it was just like, no, not the rappers who could rap. No, not that one.
You know what? I get it. You know, Master P was my one twist. All right, Candace. Okay, mommy.
You breaking up. I can't really hear you. But it's okay. You don't have to argue with me. Like the scores is tallied, boo. So, but I get it. But it's good though. And then last but not least, we gonna come to Cookie. I don't see her on the screen. I wonder if she got. But we gonna come to Cookie. Thought she, all night did a great job. Her common defense, her Jay-Z, defense, and Cube, specifically on Cube, she spoke to the fact that on Straight Outta Compton, how he pretty much orchestrated that album, writing for Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, especially with Jay-Z. Like, she actually stole some points from Vinny, because Vinny mentioned that Jay-Z had 23 Grammys and it was actually 21. So Cookie stole some points there. And in terms of Common, just bringing in Farrakhan piece, bringing in the fact that, and clarifying that, Common didn't go to Kanye for beats. He went for the exposure. So all night there were a number of key points of information that was introduced, which brings us to our winner of tonight's Hip Hop Mount Rushmore Challenge, and it is Cookie, aka Chandra.
They got for the chick. How about that?
Good shit, Chandra.
Mike.
You didn't win because of popcorn. I tell you that much. It wasn't made it happen. I tell you that.
That's personal, Yardy. That's personal, Yardy.
Cookie, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. If you ain't first, you last. Welcome to the club.
Wow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mike, don't be a hater. When the world,
I said congratulations, but it wasn't because of popcorn.
Well, when the world opens, are you in Buffalo? When the world opens back up, I will share a bottle of Moscato with you because I just killed one.
Let's go. Congratulations, mama. No, man. Listen. Great defense on Ice Cube, and I thought that was dope too. How you put together the fact that he did write that whole album. He did position those guys to even think and believe in the messaging of gangster rap, the way he put it. You know what I'm saying? Even fuck the police, all that. Ice Cube joining the lynch mob. And I love Ice Cube myself just because, he stayed black, man. There's certain artists that I just feel like they hold down black people in the black culture. Ice Cube's one of them.
You mean the lynch mob joining Ice Cube?
Either way, man. Like he to me is what NWA. He was the guy in terms.
Hey,
of
y'all
you're right
about
that.
though, man.
Wait, hold on, y'all. Chandra, would you like to say anything? Since you are the victor this evening.
I'm mute.
She frozen.
Oh.
I will say before you speak, Chandra, as I tell my team all the time, the American disrespect of Drake is out of control. It is out of control.
Hey, Saint was losing his mind.
It's out of line, man. It's out of line.
We got another swinger.
I'm gonna accept this award on behalf of Cookie. She wasn't able to make it.
Hell yeah.
Chandra's gone. We're gonna have to have her record something for her acceptance.
Hey, I want to thank you all. Again, one of the rules is that once you win, you can't actually play until you come back to play in the championship rounds where the winners, all 5 winners, play each other. But all you guys here who are playing can play again. You just have to send an email to that little ticker going about on the screen. You send an email saying, D, I want to play again. And we put your name back in the queue and let you know when the next game is coming up. All right. And the great thing about it is that now, if it's your first time playing, now you know how to play. Right now, you know how to score. Now you know how to defend. So we would expect your next time you show up, you know you wouldn't have any flaws in your game. Makes it
have to study.
It makes the challengers it makes their job harder because they know you coming with your shits. So if you are interested in playing again, you got to let me know.
She getting back in?
Yeah, I think that's her now.
Imagine me with facts.
Imagine that. You staying with your list, Alfonso. Imagine that, bro.
Right?
Chandra, we wanted to give you the stage. If you had anything you wanted to say, we wanted to give you full screen, a little bit of background music. So are you here? Let's see.
She's frozen.
Still frozen.
Back frozen. Okay. All right.
She said the StreamYard kicked her out.
Okay.
Damn.
All right, so that's what we're doing. Our next game is actually full at this moment. I think our next game is hip hop and R&B collabos.
I think Ash wants to come back in. D.
Okay, let me jump out. Make room for her.
Is everybody gonna shit on R. Kelly? Don't do that.
Totally shit on child molesters. Totally.
And then we have to set all that. It's just a fact. You see what I'm saying? There has to be like certain criteria and stuff. Like y'all have to put certain asterisks. Like, all right, no child molesters or no. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's doing all that. Nobody's doing that.
Women beaters.
Yo.
No, God. Because
damn, we can't
probably,
even.
If you went home to your
Sean,
Cookie, you back with us? You Cookie.
Y'all some Roger Goodell shit.
It keeps kicking me out. I don't know why.
Okay, but we can hear you now. So, do you want to say something?
I do. I just want to thank the guys for being, gracious losers. Tonight, you're gracious.
Oh, stop that.
And I just want to say, listen, I am a hip hop fanatic. So I am, and I live and breathe this. It's the music for me. But I appreciate the panel for recognizing the fact that I did do the work.
Yeah,
we did the work. Shout out to you for doing the work.
Saw you.
Well, Marlon he was on my heels. He was like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And I was like, I got to read more. I got to read more. He was making me nervous. And DC can tell you too, because he texted me, you ready? And I'm like, if y'all keep pressuring me, I'm going to drop out because I can't take it. I have anxiety.
Y'all got me stressed.
I was light tonight. I was on light duty tonight.
Yeah, you was easy tonight, bro.
I was easy.
It must have been the moonshine you were sipping on, because I was waiting for. I had on here the samples. I was like, Marlon gonna ask me about some damn samples. I got
hey, that's some Marlon shit for your ass.
Yes, it is. I was like, he gonna blow my mind with these dumbass sample questions, and I'm gonna just let you know the 5th sample on the first song on the 3rd album. I said I gotta know this shit. I'm sitting here taking notes.
Oh shit!
I could have got all y'all.
Hey, I just took a SAT test and I ain't studied for shit. Like I just came, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna express my opinion. He's trying to ask me how many foul shots in the last season or two, man. You can't ask me questions like that. Mark was asking Jeopardy questions and shit.
Rika, I can't.
Her face is off.
You took what?
You have to put your inside face on.
Girl, I don't have one. That's why I'm so happy.
I don't have one.
You and Candace. No. It was horrible. Mike, you're not mad, are you, Mike? You quiet. You're not mad, are you? You're not in your feelings.
Listen to me.
You're not in your feelings like Drake. I don't need to give you a handkerchief, do I?
And this is the level of disrespect. This is the level of disrespect that Drake gets, and this is why. This is why. This is why. Name me one of your artists right now.
Tell her why you bad, Spud. Tell her why you bad.
You know, I'm not mad at all. Like, look, I'm mad that you can't get Popcorn's name right. I mean, it's Popcorn, but it's still it's Popcorn, right? So I'm not mad at all. I'm just
Name you one artist. What's your question? Name you one artist that what? That's what.
I just want to name an artist right now that is in Drake's like field period, anywhere near him right now. Seeing that he's in your field as artist, because I have to defend Drake, and that's the fact, and we won't stop there. Drake is the man. He's dominating the game. Puff Daddy wishes, Bluff Daddy, Sad Boy Records.
Michael,
you know,
Michael.
Everything.
I gotta hop off y'all real quick because I am missing my boy tonight. I'm missing Tuski. I'm missing Cal Love. I'm gonna say to you, Michael, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have my hat.
Michael, as much knowledge as you have about hip hop, right? Fucking Master P, dude.
Man, look, man. I like Percy. Master P. I'm gonna watch Master P. What's wrong with Master P?
Master P.
You said Master P found the rappers who can rap.
Yeah.
Master P.
And couldn't name.
He did. He found the. He did find the rappers that could rap, and he said, "How are you doing?"
No, Fonzo, no, baby, no Fonzo.
I said they weren't on his label, but he found the rappers that could rap.
Fonzo, this is your problem.
No,
you don't stay focused, Fonzo. You on everybody else's list. You over here, you over there. You're not even talking about your artist, Fonzo. So this Master P was yours. He wasn't yours, baby. He wasn't yours.
He's right though. Master P. Look, y'all don't want to give Percy his respect. That's fine. You don't want to give Drake his respect.
No,
that's fine.
I'm sarcastically disagreeing.
We give him his respect, but to put him on
Mount Rushmore,
right? Thank you.
Mount Rushmore is the problem.
That shit wouldn't even look right. His face wouldn't even look right stoned on that.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
let me say this to Mike. Full disclosure, I appreciate Drake. I appreciate what he brings to the game. The diversity, the singing. I appreciate the songwriting.
How about the rapping?
A lot of people don't even know that he wrote Alicia Keys' song. They don't even.
Yeah, that was an amazing record. Yeah, of course.
I appreciate that, but you cannot, at this point in his career, put him on a Mount Rushmore. You can't. You cannot.
Not with the rappers. Not with the real rappers.
Not with the real rappers. And like I told Marlon, because Marlon was upset because I didn't pick Heavy D. And I told Marlon, I said, Marlon, you know I'm a thugette. So I have to go with the grime. And the only reason why I picked Common was because of the bitch in you. He fucking did that. He did that shit. And he comes off the dome. He is a true artist because he can freestyle. And it's not corny. It's not corny. This shit is tight. And I told you that. I told you that's why I had to go with T.I. because he got little man syndrome. I got little woman syndrome. And I respect anybody who gonna go up on somebody and slap the shit out of him. And he 5'5".
Huh.
He 5'5".
Shit.
He is 2 inches taller than me. I respect T.I. So that's
how you gonna be a thug?
He had little hand syndrome.
How am I gonna be a thug name?
I got a question.
I'm a fan of Drake. I'm curious.
It's moving in my knuckles.
I had a question.
I got a question for everybody.
I got a question for Saint and Michael. Can Drake freestyle rap? Like,
yeah. So this, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it. Hold on. Let me say this. I'm a rapper. I'm a retired rapper. I don't rap no more. I'm from Toronto. I saw Drake on his come up. Yes, Drake can rap and rap his ass off. Yes, he can freestyle as well.
So let me clarify. Freestyle from the top of the dome. Freestyle.
Yeah, of course, from the top of the dome. It's something that's required when you're from Toronto.
Yeah,
I mean, at that time, coming from Toronto, you guys weren't here. You're not here, so you can't speak on it. Just like
why you always.
Well, you know what? Let me
I'll tell you that.
Let me say this. You're
1,000% back.
Yo, Saint ain't about to let this shit go down. Saint got something to say. Ronald got something to say. Ronald got something to say.
He keeps saying I'm a retired rapper. I get all of that and I respect it, but I am a current poet, a current published author. So I don't want to hear about the retired shit. I want to hear about.
Yeah, but I saw Drake on his come up. Besides the retirement, I want to hear about the retirement. Besides the retirement, that's cool. But I said, let's be clear. I was there. I saw Drake. I can literally say I was there. It doesn't matter what. There's a million artists that get a record and they're broke as hell, worse than me. So don't tell me about being
Let me speak on behalf of Canadians, okay? As a lone Canadian on the T, right? I hear this all the time. So let me say this. I get your guys' argument, and I understand Michael's perspective because we're from Toronto. I think some of the blame for what you guys are saying and feeling, I have to put it on the artists themselves, because I think it was Fonzo earlier. You mentioned Tory Lanez, and you mentioned him almost in shocking surprise. You said that he could rap. Why? Because the music that most of you Americans hear from Tory Lanez is a lot of commercial, sing-songy, I don't even know what to call this new age type of hip hop. So you guys already have this predefined image of him that he's kind of like the singer pop artist. We as Torontonians, I will undoubtedly stand on this. He will wrap circles around 99%
circles.
I agree with you.
You talking about Tory Lanez? You talking about Tory Lanez?
I agree.
Who wrote that shit though? Who wrote that shit though?
So I'm agreeing with you guys in that sometimes the problem has happened with Drake as well, in that we as Torontonians know the rapping Drake. Americans and the world know this kind of commercial, sing songs with Rihanna, popish type of Drake. And because of that, sometimes I understand why it's hard for you guys to give him his due.
Bro, the first song we heard was Best I Ever Had.
I know, but that's the thing. That's where the problem starts.
That's what we supposed to do with that.
No, what he's saying is that you were introduced to the commercial Drake.
Exactly.
Yes, but I'm saying though, so he's had 10 years to prove to us.
What about the Ransom record with Lil Wayne? That came out before Best I Ever Had.
Nah, yeah, the one that.
So that's the point I'm making.
Right.
That's the point I'm making.
So if you with Lil Wayne, you have to bring out your best work.
But he was out rapping Lil Wayne on Lil Wayne tracks before he even had Best I Ever Had.
Out rapping Lil Wayne.
Not even with Lil Wayne. I'm gonna tell you, because him and Jay-Z have a track together. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it does go hard. It's not the fact that he's commercial, because at this point we can honestly say that because of Beyonce, Jay-Z is commercial now. It's just the fact that he doesn't have that grit to me. He doesn't. I can't.
Doesn't that suck,
bro? He's challenged.
Here's what sucks. I'll let y'all talk about this. Here's what sucks. The king that's not from the street with no grit, Abercrombie and Fitch is dominating the game, and there's nothing none of y'all can do about it. How about this?
Michael, can I ask you a question, Michael?
He's not from the hood. He hasn't killed anybody. He hasn't shot anybody. He hasn't sold drugs to anybody. But he dominates the game, and there's no American artist right now that's close.
Michael, can I please ask you a question?
Cookie don't like soft ass motherfuckers. That's what it is.
Michael, let me ask you a question.
I don't like what?
When
you don't like soft ass motherfuckers. That's what it is. You just like fuck him. You can't do nothing for me. You don't handle me. You a pussy ass motherfucker. That's what it is. You just don't like how much of a pussy is.
Drake had an opportunity to battle Murder Mook. He had an opportunity to battle Murder Mook. What happened, Michael?
Murder Mook's another beast, bro. I wouldn't have done it.
If you can rap, you can rap.
I would have not put my Drake brand on the line. If I'm Drake, I'm not going to battle Murder Mook. I don't need to
prove nobody turning down battles. That's a real rapper.
Why does Drake need to prove to Murder Mook that he can rap? You don't think Murder Mook's been in the
studio? Him out. You can't call somebody out and then back down.
Yeah, but Drake,
Sorry,
that's fine.
Ashley had a question before that I cut her off earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, Saint don't want to hear that.
Earlier, my question to everybody was if they could have a different fifth pick that wasn't international, just a wild card, who would that fifth pick be?
Just a wild card?
Yeah, just a wild card, not international. Just a wild card, like almost like the number one first face.
Nicki Minaj.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It would have been Face. It would have been Brad all day. It would have been Brad all day.
What about you, Wade?
Say that again.
I was hoping you said that, Chandra, too, because of what you said earlier.
It would have been Brad all day.
If I had it to do over again and I didn't have to defend 3000 being a part of a group, I would have chose Scarface. I would have. And I'm not agreeing with Cookie just to agree with her. I would have chose Scarface because I know his body of work. And he does represent Houston, Texas, and the South quite well. That's what I would have did if I had to do over again. But I stand by my top 5.
Hey, you know what's crazy is I could spit 20 Scarface verses, and I could spit 20 Scarface verses and 20 Andre 3000 verses. But for some reason, my head was like, "Fuck it, Lil Wayne." I don't know why, but and I don't even. And then Mark challenged me. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know no fucking Lil Wayne." But when he says it, I know it's dope.
Let's twist.
It's because you
roll up
sativa instead of indica. You're using sativa instead of indica.
Let's roll up. That's right, Rika. Let's roll up.
Hey, what if you had to? What if there was the instruction said you had to add a female to that Mount Rushmore list?
Rhapsody. It would be rap all day.
To the Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
It would be rap. It would be.
The most common. Lauryn Hill's the most common. The most common basic answer is Lauryn, of course.
Because.
No,
like not common basic.
The only reason why I say who is that for?
Not you. That was for the Lauryn Hill.
He said, "Who that for?"
Wait, she got big stride. Wait a minute. Like if she had pearls on, she would have been clutching her pearls. Who is that for?
Wayne, who you just what female would you had to put up there?
I probably would have been on the fence with either MC Light or Jean Grey.
Okay, Jean, I respect that. I respect that, Jean Grey. For sure.
Probably Jean Grey.
Okay.
Michael Scott. What female would you have? You're muted. What female would you have put up? Nicki Minaj.
Can we delete him?
Jay, Al, what female you? Oh, you said Lauryn Hill.
You want to put bipolar Annie on there, right? Bipolar Bertha on there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what's wrong with Nicki? What's wrong with Nicki?
She don't know who she wanted to.
But lyrically, if you're talking about Nicki as a rapper, Nicki
I don't know how you can have somebody on your Rushmore that was influenced by other artists.
Yeah, but she you know what? Guess what? She was the one though. She's the one with the numbers.
What she said lyrically.
On her resume, like she's got a good resume.
What she said lyrically.
They all got great resumes, but you gotta look at just like no one wants to give Drake his dues.
We're not even talking about Drake no more. We're talking about Nicki now. We're not talking about Drake no more.
Yeah, this is what I get. This is what I get every day, bro.
We gotta have a Drake show for him.
Not only was she born in Jamaica, she's also Jamaican Asian. Could you tell him?
Nicki's not from Jamaica. Nicki's from Jamaica?
That's what Drake, Chris Drake.
Trinidad.
She's from Trinidad, by the way.
Yeah, Trinidad.
Yeah, she's from Trinidad.
Well, I think
she does a good Jamaican accent, though.
I think the whole process of the whole
process.
Yo, Mike, this is my life, man.
Yo, I'm about to leave it wrong,
Marlon.
Yeah, I'm about to shut it down. Michael Scott, man, I really enjoyed that.
Said it.
Listen to me, man. If you want anybody to steer any pot, I'm here for you. Listen, I'm standing. You guys talk about redos. oh, if I had something to do different, yo, this is my list. Okay, masterpiece man. Okay, hold that, hug
it. Hey, Al, I want to thank you, man. Yeah, you also made me a fan of 5G. I think I'm gonna look into that because your internet connection as you travel from home to the car, to the store, to the car.
Yo,
I'm driving.
At one moment, I was gonna wait to ship the condoms in the background.
I had the kids in the back. I think
I'm like, yo,
Ashley,
what's
stupid.
going on?
Ashley, stupid.
It was an emergency, so I had to go pick my girl up, and then I had to come to my mom's house.
It was
you went to the store. But you went to the store.
The boy needed pretzels and condoms. The hell
Nah, I had to play my numbers. I had to play my numbers.
Right.
Mark, no, I'm serious about my numbers. Like, at a certain time, I gotta play my numbers.
What you play? Boxes
He's not
straight.
lying
You
about
play
that.
boxes straight. What you play?
I play a lot straight. I've had
okay.
like.
He took us on the hood hike. That's what he did.
Right.
Hey, and I made a little sale. Y'all ain't see it.
That's probably why I was looking at the shit.
That's what I was alluding to. I know he was going to hit a lick. I knew he was going to hit a lick.
Allegedly.
It's all about medical. It's all about medical.
Right,
It's okay.
right.
I understand.
This is the Alfonso documentary going on in joint.
Wayne, I want to thank you for joining, man. I thought you did a great job. I see you sent a question about the points, and I think not everybody get points. They kind of just look at who's actually, making. Can you explain that, Rika, just for points? Wayne had sent a text saying, "How did we all do point wise?" And I know we don't give everybody points; just the leading people get points. Is that how we?
That's correct. Wayne, if you want us to kind of go through and go over all of your arguments, like we're able to do that. We take copious notes, but because we were also running really late tonight, we wanted to get back on the screen and get back to y'all.
Hey, he just don't want to be a last. He just wants to know if he's a last.
No, I feel him on that though.
Well, he definitely, Wayne, you were definitely not in last place. If that's what you wanted to know, you were not in last place.
You can't just tell it if you ain't in first place, you're in last place.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Look, man, they probably put me in last place for that
You win some, you
but
lose
it's okay.
You could have been.
You were not in last place, Michael, although we need you to work on your contradictions, but you were not in last place.
Look, man, look. Master P.
Master P.
All right. I love all y'all. It's been real. Y'all be safe.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. Thank y'all. Be safe out there, all right?
Again,
All right.
play again. If you want to play again, send an email. Let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, America.
Have a good night, man. Thanks again.
Gang, gang, gang.